It's already over now? How's everybody doing? Yo, Matcherino already almost at $100? Who donated? Thank you for the donation. Let me see the name. Somebody put me to shame already. Yo, Cheryl Ford, thank you for the 50. Let me pause the music. Get the, oh my god, dude, why are French bread games so loud?
It's the Arc System Works Classic. Any game they have is just going to be loud as all hell.
Super loud. Oh man. But yeah, some people in chat have already been talking about it. We've got an interesting bracket today. Some new people that we don't really see all that often, and like some returning ones, but all of them are OD. So I'm actually really excited to see some of these people play. I've never actually gotten to see Foxo play. So I'm stoked to see him in bracket, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So I haven't gotten the chance to see Foxo play in a bit. The last time I played him is when there were a couple of unique players from the States that had essentially come over my house. So we were playing at like 2 a.m. in the morning. We were playing at like 2 in the morning. Like running a bunch of sets in. He was like, good game, your call was toxic. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. But he's enjoyable. I believe he's still playing Warp.
Okay.
And still getting in sets with a couple of different people. So he's still been playing the game, and I believe, yeah, he's still on Warp. And was interested in DA Noel as a character.
DA Noel's sick.
Gameplay design. So they were really interested in that. So I'm not sure if they have that if they have her as a sub, but just a possibility. But yeah, very enjoyable, strong player in their own right. I mean, we got the chance to see them kill it in Uni the other day.
Yeah, literally just everybody. It turned into a winner stage, like.
That one was crazy. I literally remember like watching on. I was like, "Damn, he just timed that big black like 2 times." Like, oh, okay. Like we got some Uni going on.
Yeah, that was hype. That was just a couple days ago. I don't know why I feel so far away.
Just put out a huge thing and then it was just like on to the next. I don't know how you do it, because I was like, dang.
We just keep going. I just added you guys with the keyword. Also, the Matcherino's now at 120. People just donating. Cheryl Ford put in another 8. Dingle Boy put in another 20.
Let's go. Shout out to the Matcherino. And hey guys, don't forget, if you don't happen to have $40 on hand, that's definitely with the price of at least half of the gas tank. You can always use the Matcherino codes. It's pretty simple these days. You just log in, you get yourself situated within the tournament, and then you add 25 cents to the pot. Considering there's, last time I checked, about 50 or 40 codes, that's easily a couple of bucks extra that goes to the player. So it is extremely useful. So be sure to pop in for that if you can. Well, yeah, we're going right into it with Mordred in Piko. So this should be pretty fun. I played Piko recently in CF, funny enough. So I'm curious to see if any of their habits from that end up translating into this.
Yeah, I know Piko's been playing Lumina since it came out. She's been going on for a while.
Pop the Moondrive early. Big resource to spend in terms of continuing offensive pressure, but it does mean that passes with meter regen is going to help him a ton for if he strength on something. With Shield Wars, managed to get out successfully.
Yeah, nice time following up the shield back and getting dashed away.
Trying to get in sync and know what your opponent likes to RPS with shield is super important if you find yourself getting caught in situations a lot. It seems that Piko, off of just a couple of interactions from there, doing pretty well for themselves. There should be death. Yeah. No more even needed there.
It's a nice start. That's a really nice start for Piko. I
hate to see that happen. Gotta remember, you can't dash block. You're forced to commit to the shield there. Speaking of which, gets it. Sees the shield, but still clicks a 2A on that. Overhead, however.
A couple of drops on the double 236. Probably not too familiar with doing it with Aurora. I know Piko used to play a lot on the shield.
Nice.
Oh, that's a big win.
Yeah. Nice drive there from Mordred. Gonna be a decent amount of damage except for the drop, but it's a happy little Eric. We're still going.
Okay, we have the A-ring set up. Can't do anything here.
unfortunately. Doesn't get much and lets Piko out of the corner with the confirm. I'm surprised he didn't go and opt in rather than keep for his confirm because he has full moon drive. Okay, pops it.
Pops again. He got
A lot of health on the table that he can recover if he gets a chance to pop key, but doesn't use it. I'm surprised. You gotta spend the meter in this game. You get so much of it for free.
Meter is candy. It's like shield in this game.
Yeah. Ooh, doesn't block the late air dash, but not a huge confirm. 2A, drop the confirm though. Ooh, really risky IAD shield there. Clashes with the clashes the moon skill flip. You know how it goes.
Mordred's offense is definitely throwing off Piko quite a bit right now. Oh, got the grab. How did that trade gun Piko saver? But should be able to R-Tribe, yeah.
Shock, but yeah. Arcueid's gonna be pretty good guaranteed damage. Got it at like the very end of the speed timer too. I respect the decision to moon drive there, but because Mordred was pretty close, it led to him losing positioning, but still managing to get the hit, busting themselves out of the corner.
Alright, full combo this time by Piko. Throw kills, you gotta be careful. Oh, that's a punish. Yeah, he has to DP there if he wants to get out of that situation.
Moon drive, tried to
call
DP to no avail.
It's funny because they like had the reversal of that situation earlier where Piko was in the air during moon drive and Piko tried to shield the moon skill and it didn't happen.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Tragic even.
私、甘くありませんから。
やれやれ、一度しかない命よ。
オープンユアマジックサーチ。行きます、ファイト。休ませ。やるな。進みなさい。
Piko already in the corner somehow gets to falling JC.
Gets stand shield and immediately confirms into it. That's meter a bit early. I think he could have gotten just a non-metered extension there, but hey, okay. Still backing up into neutral. Wolf's got a ton of buttons to wall people out. Speaking of which,
Making him block the mids.
alright. Moves right back in response. Yeah, ends up getting caught by Piko, but the combo was not meant to last.
Yeah. Mordred trying to do re-jump on really poor day combos. Nice arc drive.
Doesn't get the full hit, however. Oh!
Yeah. When you clash, just go straight to 2A.
Yeah.
This actually can kill.
He didn't quite build the meter for arc drive, so just a hair away. What a 2A mash out for a knee.
I think he would have built it if he didn't moon skill.
Possibly, yes. Either way, though, going in there pretty healthy resource-wise.
Oh, that's a crazy trade.
I have never seen a clash like that. Wow, okay.
Somehow goes in Mordred's favor. A-ring setup. Yeah, he can't jump it either. He showed the jump last time, and that was a good adaptation from Mordred.
That's one of those things. If you stand still, there's a lot of instances where if Akiha sets up ring, you guys are kind of just sitting there for 5 seconds because not much is really happening, and it's not like Akiha's getting crazy mixed. It's just, congrats, you're in the corner for a few seconds longer. It's like a timeout situation, it's pretty big, but there's not much on the clock. It's kind of whatever.
Oh, didn't get the IAD.
Yeah. Confirms out with the 226C.
That's where Akiha starts to struggle a little bit.
And it seems like Piko now just kind of wants to play the lead a bit more with just how they're trying to use, how they're trying to use, Roa's 2-1-4 series in order to kind of wall out Mordred at the moment. Just quick confirms in the 226C. You don't really need to do much. At this point, you have such a big lead that, as you can see right there, your opponent don't know how to approach, they're going to get clipped. And that's a big thing to deal with if the Roa knows how to wall people out with appropriate offense.
Exactly, especially Akiha, who has no projectiles, has to dash up and jump shield to deal with projectiles in most situations.
J, but nothing really resulting from that trade. 2-1-4C just opts for the moon charge, and yeah, we're now seeing a much more defensive style from Piko. He's just kind of opting to counter hit Mordred on approaches. Why interact with your opponent when they can't approach you at the moment, or they don't know how to? Try to confirm his 2-1-4C. Oh, that's
Four tech into the 2-1-4C.
Yeah.
Got punished.
And I want to compliment their use of... Oh, that was really good to pop the moon drive to get out of the recovery there in response to Mordred's.
Oh,
And this should
yeah,
kill with this quick confirm.
that's a scary thing about jump shield, is if it whiffs, you're in so much recovery.
Yeah, the landing recovery, and on top of that, if someone notices an air throws you, you are not looking rough. And even like kind of getting an air shield on Roa's specials, it's not really that crazy. At most, you can get like a B follow-up, but even BC is not going to send you towards Roa because he's on the ground. So you're kind of just stuck in the air against this character with like decent mobility and ways to kind of set up air on velocities. And that is not any more comfortable than where you would have been 5 seconds ago trying to approach that very same person. Also, he wanted to gain the health back. 2-1-4C gets shielded, but yeah, like just so far away that it kind of doesn't matter that Mordred gets the BC follow-up.
Oh, low shield back.
Yeah, you see Piko like kind of discourage the usage of shields with their callouts at the moment, so now it's showing up with Mordred kind of being unwilling to counter shield back.
I like Piko just sitting that, waiting out the blood heat this time. Doesn't want to press anything.
Yeah, like, the way how I like to put it, if someone pops blood heat, you need to see if they're a shield truther. If you don't know if they're a shield truther, you don't want to swing into it and absolutely die just for deciding to like, hit a button. But yeah,
I say it's like sticking your hand in hot oil.
yeah, you never know. But either way, Piko manages to clean up and takes that second game, the third game rather, in pretty smooth fashion, especially compared to the first two.
Yeah. I think once Piko figured out that Akiha struggles against the zoning, he leaned on it heavily, and it pretty much swung the matchup in his favor.
Yeah, and that's pretty good on them. I would say it's probably some of that Vlav experience kind of coming in as well, being able to kind of zone people out. And, you know, Roa doesn't necessarily have, you know, 2-2X series and such, but 2-1-4 is still extremely powerful for blocking people's approaches. And when you kind of shake off some of the tournament nerves of like, oh god, I got to do something, I got to make something happen, it becomes way simpler to just kind of say like, okay, I'm just going to wall them out. I can use these specials. If I get behind, I still have pretty good comeback mechanics in order. And like it all really only takes a couple of confirms to kind of get back the health death, make the health deficit much smaller. Yeah,
right. Especially with how much meter adds in this game.
Oh, that's true, actually. And you get so much meter, so much.
And the thing is that like one thing that I always like to highlight is the way how people, and I think a way that the game's direction will end up taking a bit, sort of similar to how a lot of times for uni confirms, you'll see a lot more CS late when it comes to like round enders in order to maintain at the end of the round. I really think that we're going to see way more moon charge in general over time as people kind of optimize when they can use it in order to gain those little bits of meter, because it really does matter. Because having literally, because think about it like this, in this game, having access to 1 bar of meter not only means that you can go for supers, but you also have heat as an option, just straight up, right? It's not a long time, so you're not going to be able to maintain it for a while, but that still needs health regeneration and a potential arc drive if you really want to go for it. So yeah, it's just kind of one of those things that I feel like we'll see more and more, because it's extremely efficient to moon charge. You barely are losing health for it, and you can regain it using the meter you got with heat. So it's just kind of all cycles.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it all cycles really well.
And it decreases their moon gauge, right?
Like it does not decrease the opponent's moon gauge, but it does give you chunks of moon.
Okay.
Go through for a certain amount of time. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like again, sorry, continue.
I was just gonna say the decreased thing is when they're in moon drive.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean the whole thing, of course, is just that like you get to do that, and one piece of moon can easily be the difference between having moon drive or not. And whatever the meta ends up forming towards moon drive, currently it's kind of more like an offensive, like pressure extension is like the best case use for it, and defensively it's like, well, that kind of sucks. Whatever direction it takes, who knows, but it means a ton, especially when you kind of learn how to route things properly. because you got to think about it like this as well. This is the only reason why I go on this tangent, because I'm an optimization nut when it comes to like games that I've taken deep dives in. But you know, you're getting one like little blip of moon for landing an attack in a combo, but you also gain one for the first EX move that you use, right? So now it's a matter of like, okay, moon charged enough, I got a hit. Wait a minute, I'm Roa. Literally anything at full screen is going to lead to 2-1-4C. If that lands, I get another piece of moon. You can see where this is kind of going in terms of having these available, right? It's super easy for Roa to route his EX moves into his confirms and neutral in general. So it's just, it's something that I think is very, very interesting from a kind of nitty-gritty state. But I don't think that we're at that point yet. I think people are still kind of bothered with a lot of new characters, finding new ways to get around the system mechanics and such, but it's just a little thing that you may notice over time.
That's true. Where's Blitzsprite? We got Tenchi in here.
The world may only know.
But yeah, I mean, while we wait for that, there's a couple of there's always a ton of WASD events coming up. Do you want to go through a couple of them?
Sure, yeah. Wednesday, we've got Strive at 8 p.m. Ryer's actually going to be running that one for me because I want to go to NLBC offline. So I asked him to take over. Thursday, we have BlazBlue Open, also at 8 p.m. Sunday, we've got the Grand Blue Beginner Bracket at 5. And then next Monday at 8, we've got Mashfest again, but it's Uni. I'm going to have that open. And then on April 23rd, if you guys are in the New York area, we've got our 7th live. So we're going to run 5 games this time. We're going to run Strive, Grand Blue, Exerd, Uni, and Persona. It's at 2 p.m. is the first game, Grand Blue, out of OS New York. So that's where we threw crossover and that big event. It's a good venue. I like it a lot. It's where Bum threw his birthday bash, which was packed. That was wild.
Yeah, that was a big bracket.
Here's your bad.
But yeah, I mean, in general, it is always sick to kind of be around on this channel because there's almost always something going on, like day in and day out. You can always like tune in and kind of find something interesting going on. But yeah, and while you're here, if you want to focus on like tonight, you can always go to the match arena, pop in some codes and add a little bit of money for the players. This is a stacked bracket as is, and adding it to the player, adding a bit to the pot always makes it just a bit more high stakes. I believe we're almost, if not already, over $100.
Yeah, we're at 123 right now.
Yeah, that is a ton of money.
Yeah.
For what is essentially a bi-weekly for Melty specifically.
Yeah.
And I know you guys, you multiplayers are very active with tournaments.
Yep.
If you want to support the tournaments, the match arena is right there. It's so easy to do. And there's a sponsor quest. The sponsor quests are super easy. Since we're waiting on Blitzsprite, I'll read them to you.
I'll actually add more sponsor quests now. Why not?
Oh, you only had one. I was looking for them. I was like, what the heck?
It's because the other ones I had added ran out of money.
Yeah, this one is downloading an app with the QR code, and it adds $2. And we just got the Twitch cast where you follow Diaphone on Twitter and Twitch, and the Treehouse on Twitter. It adds up. I promise you, it adds up.
The Treehouse one, yeah, puts another 25 cents straight into the pot. So if you claim the code and do that one, it literally, it's like the old codes that were 50 cents.
Yeah, you can always pop in there. And it looks like we have our opponent here now.
Yeah, it's going to be Warwick Akiha.
This is the lore matchup. These two are right next to each other, like in the same neighborhood or something.
I believe so, yeah. But yeah, I haven't seen either of these players go at it, so curious to see how the set will go.
Tenchi's on 4 frames of delay.
Don't they live near each other?
Yeah, I think he said it before Friends earlier when he was playing the Korean
Oh.
Tama. DP gets baited. Oh, he shielded in the air so he didn't get a punish, actually. Gapless. Oh, he puts him on the other side.
Just waits out the shield's recovery. Gets a good punish for it. Not going to build up a bar quite yet, but definitely will have it if need be. Just kidding, he does not. One bar of meter, no moon. Still a solid positioning for being up around.
Now we see Blitz backing off a little bit, going to moon drop a little early.
Yeah, really good movement for Tenchi in order to navigate around the rings and still get the initial hit. Forcing an early hit out of Blitzsprite as well. That is super, super good. They're getting clapped a lot for it, but that he could have gone a lot differently.
Alright, I Tenchi in the corner with 2 CC, and he's gonna get punished for it. Luckily, Tenchi dropped it.
Doesn't get the full confirm. Let's go teleport. I'm out of there. Time to zone. Finally sending out some of those rings.
Well, it seems like they're very insistent on using the normal onion rings instead of the up back moon skill ones.
Yeah, it looks like additionally when they're at full screen they want to play very reactive towards Tenchi's movements. So you don't really see any preemptive rings, and I think they're worried about Tenchi's movement through with like the air dashes and such. That is a nervous heat if I ever saw one.
Yeah.
You are gonna die for that.
He probably thought Tenchi was going to press like a 2C afterwards.
Yeah, but that's one of those situations where Akiha has various things that she can do in order to not actually be that close. Like she can just easily set a ring and say, all right, let's just run like a quick little block string for like 2 extra seconds and such. So I don't think that heat was very good, but I understand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious to see in the next game if they'll make a couple of adjustments to how they're trying to zone in neutral, because if they can't establish presence, Tenchi will just navigate in. Already taken to the corner here. A couple of hits now, gets the fatal.
Simple combo off the fatal.
Already.
Oh wow, right over the onion ring.
Yeah, that moon skill flip, it clutches out of a lot of situations. Sets up the shield,
Nice escape.
gets out of the corner, yeah.
Oh, increased 5B, get punished.
Shields the ring, Tenchi waits out the response but unable to punish.
Nice delay on the shield A. Alright, one touch game. Has to watch out for throw too. Oh my god, wake up. Moon skill.
You know how it is. We
Tried to reset.
Flashing on the air normals there.
Oh, that could actually could have
Yeah.
been punished.
Tenchi tried to bulldoze in with the moon skill flip and just off the moon skill T2X. That's funny.
It's some
Air
overheaded.
series, yeah.
Already really early to be in the corner. Nice moon skill out, because normally you can't dash under that JB.
Flips over the moon skill
Nice
ring.
punish.
Yeah. Drops the combo, but still in there. And with me,
Actually,
but dropping
Yeah,
that
that would've
combo.
killed.
Just running
Confirm.
straight
Oh my
into
God.
the onion rings at their face. Moon drive, I am hitting buttons, you must respect me. Gets to the ICJC, and that will be that. Tenchi
That was a
moving
very
forward, 2-0.
That was an unfortunate drop at the end. Just barely
Yeah.
wasn't close enough for the EX DP to connect.
Just a couple of rough things. Again, I really do feel like that because Tenchi was able to gain so much momentum in neutral, it ended up becoming kind of this like huge momentum train for them.
Right.
And Blitz just could not keep pace with it and was unable to kind of get comfortable. You know, it's a tournament bracket. You know, it's 3 games at most right now, and then you are out of there. So you have to adjust or adapt or die. Is what it is. But our next game on stream,
Mick
should be
and Lucy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe that is Wark and
Arc.
Oh, wait, this is Arc and Wark?
Yep. Plays Arc.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
That that should be a funny set. Oh boy.
I don't think I've
like the little
actually
intro.
seen this ever. I don't think I've ever seen this matchup.
Yeah, they have their own little intro too.
For how strong Arcueid is, I don't see her on stream nearly enough. And it is utterly strange to me. Because, like, if you've seen Redblade, like, play this character for more than 5 seconds, you would go, oh, she's cranked.
Yeah.
Wow. She gets to do this, this, and that. Really great, like, amazing neutral tools. Like, absurdly obnoxious approach options.
Yeah, and they buffed it too. They buffed her neutral tools.
Great can opener like type mix. It's not gonna like open up everybody, but it makes you weigh your defensive options in ways that not many characters can do. Oh, looks like we might see. Hold on a second. We might see Roa.
Lucy's actual main.
Okay. And we are locked in. Yeah, like amazing offense. Strong neutral tools, reversal options that are great, especially with Moon Drive. Low crush moon skills, like that is really good.
Yeah, did you guys know that her reversal DP goes into 214C?
Yeah, so
into mix up.
You have so much that you can do on this character. I hope we get the chance to see some of that displayed. That's the Fatal JA.
Oh, this is the optimal confirmed. This is the optimal.
Yeah. Did I mention that she does damage?
Oh yeah, she already did 1/3 of your health load.
Yeah. Whiffing the shield does not get punished for it.
Yeah, they're playing really slow right now. Another hit again. Doesn't go into the corner combo. Wind right back. Yeah. Overhead gets blocked with the shield. Didn't he punish though? Surprised Lucy didn't press BC on that. Oh, that's actually that.
Yeah, they're playing that pretty well. You know, they were kind of at a bit of a distance, but given Arcueid's, you know, dash, especially with paired with buttons like 2C, she can approach and get back in very, very quickly.
Right. Oh, big hit. Oh, drop the combo.
Pretty much, yeah. Immediately tries to go for the D counter on the shield, but Lucy just took them so straight to the corner.
Yeah, unfortunately. You don't want to be in the corner against Arc. Oh, tried to Hito S. He gets backdash. Tried to whip punish. Oh, he's going for another optimal.
Yeah.
Oh, that could have killed.
Yeah. Whoa!
What? Mick, why? So Arc can cancel her 2d6 series on whiff with Moon Drive and EX moves, but Mick chose to go for plus frames instead of trying to react. But that's a pretty good hit.
Doesn't finish their food though. Try to go for the charge fight. See it look like there.
He has to be careful. Wants to get some of their health back at least. We're gonna get hit. That's it.
There it is. Really good on Lucy to push the pace of it and play a little bit faster.
Yeah, didn't want Mick to get any of their heat.
You want to talk about characters that can get momentum? Arcueid is certainly one of them.
Right.
Even if it's towards the end of the round, you do not want to give them that kind of confidence, like going into the next one. Nice cross under. And again, because it's so easy to route in, like your EX moves, Lucy had enough movement skill to like BC follow up after that, right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a clean up, and that was a fast round compared to the other ones from that first game.
Yeah, Mick doesn't feel like they can play into Lucy's pace as well. Let's catch on the backdash. Didn't get the combo.
Yeah. Backdashing out. Not too much to show for it though, just starting their offense. Yeah, get hit by the moon skill. Alright. Seeing Lucy charge up a little bit of meter. A couple of big whiffs. Blocks the overhead, but not the TP.
Oh, dash up button, beat mix.
Big hit. Ah, that would have killed if they managed to get the full confirm there with Arc Drive available. Oh, this might catch.
Oh, yo.
Yeah. Good lord.
Yeah. You can't try to heat.
You do not want to do that. Let her finish talking. She likes to go on monologues. So. 2d6x follow up.
Oh, forward attack, please. Please
Good
don't forward attack.
there. Again, Lucy just chilling out. Both characters can easily poke the other from this range. Speaking of which,
I actually think that was the plus range for 4BC. She has ranges where it's actually plus. That's combo.
yeah, solid routing, good corner carry. Unable to follow up on offense though. Lucy now
Plus,
got
nice DP.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, that's a punish.
Yeah. Good moondrive from Lucy to check mix options. Ooh, sweet whiff, but we're okay. BC's out of there. Good 2-4. Nice IAD. Doesn't watch for the heat. So Nick's gonna get a lot of health back.
Yeah, that was a nice time to heat too, because that was 2C that Lucy pressed. Plus frames. Looping plus frames. Whiff throws plus.
It is.
Oh, Mick just dashing up in ranges where they don't have to dash up at all, really.
Yeah.
That
moondrive from Lucy.
punish.
Goes for the skill lightning.
Does that kill? Yeah, that kills.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Lucy with the win quit.
I forget that's what Lucy does. I forget they're a win quitter.
That was the fastest quit I've ever seen. Looked like an NRS player right there. Talking about it the other day, but those guys restart the fastest I have ever seen people do. I'm like, wow.
I want to see someone on rank 2 as 0 RP because they ult F4 every time to win a game.
They have a red
Yeah,
name,
Liz.
but like
0 RP red name, they ult F4 whenever the game's over.
Yeah. But it is looking like we are getting
a wark mirror.
on a second.
The mirror.
Yeah, we'll be the warp mirror. With,
It's funny.
Mhm.
It's funny because both of these players are crackheads, as I like to call them.
Yeah. Foxov is a funny case of it. They'll play in
Yeah.
ways that you're kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, this is very solid, and then they'll do something and enforce it, and you're like, what in God's name? Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I played Kikoho and Rect recently, and I lost the first game, then I won the next 2 games, and I was like, man, Kikoho, please block on wake up. For
Charge
love of God.
5B, we are armoring through. We need blocking when we got no one was playing.
Oh
like
my
that.
god, he was starting early. Kikoho not blocking.
That's up the range there. Good Oki, nice throw.
Oh, nice reset. That's interesting, actually.
Yeah, yep, just that empty
Kikoho.
jump. Yeah, Kikoho trying to opt for some relatively risky defensive options, and you do not want to show that to Foxov early on, because right now he is eating those up.
Foxov loves that. He loves this type of play, because he likes playing risky himself, so he knows how to play around it pretty well. Nice combo though. Oh, dropped at the end. Her ender's a little weird.
Kikoho manages to win the shield wars right there. Pretty solid health lead at the moment, but good hit from Foxov. Not seeing too much, just relatively patient neutral play. 7 BC, there it is.
Nice block. Oh, didn't block the 2A afterwards though. You gotta know.
You know how it goes. Let's see if this will lead to a safe heat.
Doesn't. Oh, takes it late on accident. I think he missed their heat input.
Yeah. Not going to get nearly as much health back because they were forced into block stun by Kikoho there.
Oh,
Great
Kikoho.
responsive air throw after the moon drive, but Kikoho with the moon skill onion.
Yeah. That's another thing about Kikoho. Kikoho likes doing optimal combos for the most part, and that can cost you when you drop those.
concern of a record, you want to make sure that they're relatively safe in order to keep up the consistency. Good hit, however, nice conversion as well. Looking real nice.
This character does so much damage when you're doing optimals. I'm gonna see the same combo again, this time the corner one.
Good pick up right here. Ah!
Kikoho held it, and that's a kill. Oh, it did in 5A.
Yeah, sometimes when people click 1D, they just want to hold that, and they will hold that all day and wait for you to do something. They're like, what can you do? What is really going to happen here? I'm a little surprised that he did it to work, considering that, you know, Charge 5B is a pretty common standing overhead for the character to like opt for. Relatively
that was
quick
really
conversion.
early.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, you know, it's just one bar, so it's not a huge deal.
Right.
It's kind of like if you get the hit, congrats, you get to ride an R drive. If you get hit, congrats, you may have a little bit of time to regen some health, so it's kind of whatever. Ooh, gets clipped on
That was
teleport.
insane.
Yeah, that is.
I think that like just OS to DP.
Perhaps,
but...
not too sure. Either way, though, it does not work out favorably for Foxo.
Foxo having a
projectile
lot of
now.
trouble.
With meter, yep, gone.
I don't know if Foxo played this matchup.
I would say warp is relatively common enough that he's probably run into it a couple of times before, but Kikoho certainly trying to put on a bit of a planet per se.
Oh, thought that was actually going to be a punish, but it wasn't. Kikoho got the jump out.
Try to get the air projectile, gets shielded and thrown now.
And that's actually death.
Yeah.
Kikoho playing really well right now.
Yeah. Still playing a bit wildly, but not necessarily in the case of that it was kind of like a... I guess the funniest summation of it was that they were just correct a bit more, or it just happened to work out better in the scramble. But it is a bit accurate, and you know, that is 2-0 for Kikoho, sending Foxo into losers.
Yeah. Kikoho is a controlled crazy, for sure.
I wouldn't say controlled.
I mean, like there's a method behind the madness.
Oh, I believe that. You know, you gotta know how to play like a nutcase if you want to make it far.
I like that.
It's true. You see, you know, there are plenty of people that, you know, regularly make top 8s that if they were at a mid-level of play, you would be like, why are you doing this and that? That doesn't make any sense. But you still see high-level players do a lot of things that I would consider to be quite nutty. You know, there's a variety of reasons for that, but I ain't a sports psychologist.
Oh, I be losing my mind sometimes.
Yeah.
Wait, let me check in real quick. I was gonna do a better transition, but I lost it.
Unfortunately.
To the match arena. We got 26 codes left.
We should be losing 26 of those Maturino codes.
There we go. That's the better transition.
We are already going right into the set. Woo!
Oh no, we have lolly mirrors.
I'm not even gonna go in that direction. Either way,
playground battle.
Either way, though, Noel and Miyako, both characters with pretty prominent offense, though in very different ways.
Yeah.
Miyako, of course, being the bane of everybody's defensive frustrations with her can opener mix and, you know, rush down, and Noel with pretty awesome set play regarding the spears and being able to play around shield itself. Lunar already getting started.
Mix up. Oh, overhead wins well.
Stomp. Yeah, Lunar.
And that's the crazy thing about this. That's the crazy thing about this character. They can choose like cross up, overhead, or stomp, and you have to guess.
Yeah. Speaking of that, EX stomp was super good in reaction to Luna right there in order to call out. And because of that one EX stomp, they are now in the corner. Overhead, you didn't notice the after move, most unfortunate. Still, Luna manages to get the mash right there. Has a bar to play with. Is he going to spend it?
I'm going to mix up.
Ooh, just barely gets out of the way there. Abister, what looks to be mashing, I believe, 5C there. Didn't work out.
Oh, Luna was facing the wrong way.
Yep, good dragon kick, good corner carry, nice anti-air. Anti-ears and melty blood. Stranger things have indeed happened.
Yeah.
Gets the
This should
cross
kill.
up as well.
Oh, didn't spin meter.
Yeah. Probably drop.
You want to spin your meter.
Okay, gets the shield there and manages to beat out the BC. Blocked, not this. Not that 63.
Cross
oh,
him.
and there it is.
You've blocked my character long enough. It's time.
Tries to go for the overhead and wake up balloon and just pop heat instead. Gets thrown, however. With heat available, you gotta drain that heat timer as much as possible there.
Oh,
The
you're
late
actually
jump,
dead. You're dead.
Mashing the throw tech. Oof.
You've blocked long enough, Luna. It's time to get mixed.
And just like that, the first game is already done. And that is the thing about Miyako. If you want to talk about tempo, this character will push it forward. Already gets the 5-8 round start.
How did the hitbox on that from behind is ridiculous?
I have no idea.
Mix up. Oh, Luna hasn't successfully got a mix up yet. He did the crossover, actually.
Yeah, great job shielding the spears there. Goes for the BC in order to get closer. Yeah, spending the rest of that meter.
Yeah, I like how every time Miyako stomps, you can see Luna try to stand up for the overhead. Nice throw. Okay, very smart defensive option.
Wow, whiffed on her crouching, and Luna was not prepared for that.
Yeah, I need way too late.
Abister already in there. Good air throw. Tries the IAD in. Gets the delayed string for the counter hit. This is already looking real rough. However, Kama.
This could be the start.
Certainly
mix
the start
up.
of something new.
Nice throw.
Definitely feels right for Luna.
Oh, that
Whiffs
DP is so
it.
stupid.
That is rough. Yeah, she flings herself across. You have to dash up and just to catch up with her after the fact.
Yeah. And God forbid you shield it. You can't even do anything, pretty much.
Wow! That was a call out and a that was a
was
wonderful
sick.
reaction there. Good lord. That was sick from Abister. Okay.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, I'll one up that. And if we finish the matching their codes, I'll say Miyako is fair.
I will never say she's fair. But,
I will for matching their codes.
I would put in, you know what, how about this? If you think that Miyako is fair, put in a Matcherino code. If you don't think she's fair, put in 2 Matcherino codes if you can somehow. Alright?
Get on the alt.
We'll make that the bet. Alright? But either way though, I think a pretty good display of the fact that if you cannot contain the gremlin that is Miyako, you are going to explode. You have to be ready to block pretty messed up offense, like at the ready, and have your reactions primed. And frankly, that's just hard, but it is what it is. I think one thing that's extremely impressive, honestly, was just I'm just shocked by the way Abister was managing to just kind of push through neutral so fast. I was like, oh my god, with like kind of the way in which they kind of maneuvered through. I thought that was very cool.
Especially as a character like Miyako, where you don't have that many tools. Like a lot of your tools to beat out zoners are EX dependent. To end neutral that fast is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like everything she does is safe.
Sort of, but a lot of it is just the fact that there are so many options and they're all equally hard to react to that you'll say,
Yeah,
okay,
that's true.
I will pick this thing to react to. Congrats, you just got crossed up. Okay. I will react to the cross up. Congrats, you got hit by this random throw that came in because you were like shielding at a bad timing.
Yeah.
You know, and so on and so forth. On top of, you know, her being able to maintain that, like, her offense super well, you know, rebeat or just special cancel into stomp just to catch you if you're jumping and such. There's a ton of options that you have available for you. And speaking of people getting stuck in block stun forever, it looks like we may have Maids coming up. This should be fun.
This
is
is
one of the
Maids
best
and
names.
Arc, right?
It is. Nash
This is
playing?
Yusoro 7,
Yusoro?
I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be Maids
Arc.
versus Arc.
I remembered this time. I kept thinking Yusoro played Akiha for like the longest time, and I don't know why.
If you said Akiha, I would have gotten mixed alongside you. I'm not gonna lie.
I would never believe Arc player will betray Arc.
Dang. So that's how it goes. But yeah, this should
That's
be
how-
interesting. I don't believe I've seen this matchup super extensively before, so curious to see again just how the neutral kind of plays out and maneuvering around Maids.
寄り道するつもりはないんだけど。これはなかなか心してかかりましょう。
Alright, now do the high five, Nash.
Now it looks like they're opting for the Hisui lead currently.
Yeah. I think Nash only plays Hisui. I think they might have played Miyako on the side, but mostly Hisui.
It's an ear throw, immediate ear
Early.
right there.
Yeah, immediate
Surprised
ear.
Yusoro didn't opt for the Surprised Yusoro didn't opt for the anti-heat OS there. It's kind of like, in my opinion, that's one of the first things you always want to check. You're like, all right, are you gonna click heat? Like, can we establish the rule 1 here? If we can't establish rule 1, then what are we doing? Yeah, gets the hit. Should be good damage. Great carry. Spend the meter. Yes, indeed. EX Rekka.
Wants him in the corner. Shields a mix up.
All right, and it is time for you to block, my friend.
Yeah. And you gotta guess. And you guess
Aw.
wrong. Next time you gotta react properly. I don't have to tell you. Oh, DP this time.
And still follows up in.
Wait, this could kill. This could kill.
Do you have the right
Oh,
one?
he dropped.
And
It
you
was
got
a
hit
little
by
too
the.
forwarded.
Yeah, it got hit by the falling normal. Unfortunate.
Oh, immediate shit.
Yeah, they've been opting for the BC a lot. Curious to see if Yusoro will kind of catch on and try to establish a counterplay against it. Gets thrown for his trouble, however. Fucking blocks
That was
the
interesting.
first hit.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much the guaranteed heat against this character.
Oh, we are smashing Charge 5C. I don't blame you given all the armor that it has with shields.
These are Charge 5C enthusiast characters.
Indeed. DP whiffs again, but Nashvin just a little too slow on picking up on it. So
DP
Yusoro's
again.
just
Oh, jump
getting
shield.
away from it free. Good late reaction, but still manages to shield the overhead.
Oh, I think Yusoro tried to hit confirm the 2B.
Yeah. Great backdash on the Moonskill DP and cleans up the game.
That was a pretty quick first game. Yusoro didn't get many chances to play.
I'm not going to hold you. That was definitely the fastest game one that we have had so far tonight.
Yeah, usually the first games are really close. Nice smash. Oh my goodness. You mashing on Arc? You have no fear.
You do what you must to survive the can opener. Oh my god. I don't know if that
Yeah,
was
die kick
what.
bait.
Oh, it was dive kick? Yeah, okay. never
Yeah.
mind.
That was just a like, bait.
Yeah.
Okay, nice combo.
Get the cross
Oh,
up.
called out low shield.
Yeah. Sets up the duster, try to set up a bit more.
What a drop. Dude. Oh my god.
I am shocked that didn't go punished, but
Yeah, you're sort of kind of flailing.
they definitely look lost right now.
And I know these two have played sets, so it's kind of weird that Yusoro is having this much trouble establishing some type of offense.
There are certain times where, you know, your regular training partner or people you regularly play against, for some reason something's kind of different on the day, and they're just playing in a way that you're either not used to, or they're just playing exceptionally well.
Oh, die kick bait the throw, and
I'm
that's
not gonna lie, this is looking pretty exceptional. That was pretty sick.
Yeah. That was I've been throwing you here, you better try to tech it. Because I'm
Yeah.
calling it out.
I mean, honestly, that was a quick 2-0, and it felt like NashFan, while there were some clunkier moments, especially with letting Yusoro get away with a ton of DPs,
Right.
aside from that, it really did feel like they were one step ahead for most of that set. And I believe we're going to have them come on. You didn't need to leave the room. It's going to be NashFan and Abister coming up next on stream.
Yeah, we were gonna run the OmniScythe one, but I think Lucy and Piko are still playing right now.
Right.
So I gotta make NashFan double up.
Might as well get a bit more screen time while you get the chance, yeah.
It's true.
But yeah,
That was a
this
fast
would
set,
be-
man.
Yeah. As a TO, I love that. Love that. Gotta love that. But I will say that. Okay. So this set should be interesting, and I'm really curious to see if NashFan sticks to the Hisui lead for this one, if only because we saw Abister kind of maneuver through a lot of things, and the way how NashFan was setting up Bento was not necessarily in ways that would be there. I feel like the way NashFan was setting up Bento, Miyako would have a lot of responses against that if she were to press buttons quite quickly there and frankly say, like, you don't have the frame data to actually set it up.
Yeah.
Again, you must have gremlin containment procedures at the ready. If you do not, you will let the Miyako survive in neutral, and that is not always the best of times.
Yeah, and Abister, as we saw in their earlier game, is just so good at navigating neutral. So good.
Yeah. Definitely willing to play very, very fast. So curious to see if we'll see a bit more. We actually didn't see literally almost any Kohaku assist in that previous set, so we may see some more of it just in terms of perhaps trying to cover the screen, but not too sure. NashFan, however, gets the first hit. Gets the throw, sets the bento box over. Good throw tech, however, and mashing immediately afterwards. Shields the cross up. We are A-OK. Sets the Feather Duster out, yeah. But the Gremlin containment procedures are not working out quite very well. You have let her loose. She is now performing offense on you. It is time for you to block. Sets up the Feather Duster now.
Oh my
skill
god,
DP.
what?
Trying to throw out the chair right there, praying for Abister to run into it, but no dice. Ton of meter for Abister now, and Art Drive.
He's dead, yeah.
Didn't even need to spend all the meter too. Probably could have just routed with 3C into a EX Dragon Kick, but either way, pick the round.
Oh, they're unblockable really early.
Yeah, good 5A there. Gets the cross up, dashes through, but we're still okay-ish. Get mashed on though.
Yeah, with the button, and Nash having a lot of trouble.
Yeah, suddenly looking a little reminiscent of the last time we saw Abister being able to run trade. Great counter moon drive into air throw. That was a sick call out. That was whew.
And I can only imagine how you feeling if you're Nash, because Nash mains Miyako.
Yeah, we are seeing a character swap with that, with backing out like that. Okay, Jesus.
We could see Nash switch to the mirror. If you're gonna mix me, I'm gonna mix you back.
Oh, so we'll have to see. I don't know any other characters that NashFan has under their belt, so.
They play like 9. They play like 9 characters or something.
I feel like I've seen them play Kohaku before.
They play like Kohaku, Maids. Yeah, Noel recently too. Both Noels, but yeah, Noel's a choice this time.
Hoping to prove that they could do what Lunar could not and contain Abister with DA Noel.
Already starting near corner. Finally got the run some type of neutral game plan. Yeah, back to blocking immediately.
Gets a shield, BC for BC. Gets the fatal, but didn't recognize it, so unable to convert properly. And here we go.
DP baited. That still punished her DP. Oh my god.
Next hit will definitely kill. What are you gonna do?
Bait
DP
it again.
Can't blame you, but it is not going so hot.
DP's kind of get like goaded in this game by up forward. The up forward O-case.
Sets the spear. Nice mix there.
Oh, it dropped.
Yeah, it's just not looking real smooth.
Reset.
Nice air throw. DP finally works out now. That's a couple of spears, punishing the stomp for that as well. It's fatal, but nothing crazy for it. Good damage. Should be able to kill
this
Arc Drive.
Oh, didn't have the meter for it.
Yeah. You gave Miyako a chance. And it is not going to end very pretty.
That's unfortunate. I think the route that Nash did was incorrect, actually. Because you can spin a bar and you can dash up in 2-way or something with Noel, and you can do an auto combo.
Yeah, just not working out super well there. And Abister is kind of sitting pretty in winners finals at the moment. We'll have to see if the winner of our next set on stream will be able to clean that up.
Dude, he's kind of looking unstoppable right now. I'm not gonna lie.
At the moment, but I mean, we probably gonna see another Miyako right now. Because last time I remember, OmniScythe was still playing that character, unless things have changed. So if he wins this one, that means we have a Miyako mirror for winners finals. But more importantly, if we get a Miyako winners finals, that means one of those two people is in losers and gets to murder a lot of people in bracket. So that could very well happen.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop signing up for commentator because it so happens that every time I commentate this game, it's Miyako mirrors everywhere.
Dude, I can't help it. The Miyakos, they're just gremlins, man. They just terrorize brackets.
Hey, I get to see some pretty messed up offense and some pretty cool confirms. I'm chilling. I'm alright commentating the character. I'll be honest. It's A-okay with me.
I'm not fighting the character, that's all I have to say.
Fair. But yeah, our next set will be LucyBruh and OmniScythe. So this would be Roa versus Miyako.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like I've been kind of repeating it to death, but big thing that we're going to be seeing here is kind of either A, if we're seeing the Roa from LucyBruh, it's kind of going to be a lot of the movement and how both players are trying to get around each other, because Roa has a particularly good ability in order to cover the ground and the air at the same time. And moreover, I really want to see how Lucy responds to a lot of the shield follow-ups from OmniScythe. We saw Abister in particular go for a lot of BC in order to kind of maintain or kind of stay in a lot. I don't know if OmniScythe is kind of built in that same way, but BC is quite strong just in general. So it should be interesting. I'm very curious to see how that kind of interactions will play out. Unless we're seeing a Tono.
I don't know what's been going on with this game recently. It doesn't save your last character for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I said it in the menu, but
yeah. It's been very strange.
Almost as strange as the fact that we've got Matcherino codes left.
Are you kidding me? That's quite curious.
We've got 18 left.
18?
I know.
You're telling me all that complaining. We still have 18?
We got more than 18 people in the chat. It is a very simple process to donate to the Matcherino. We are already at over $125, so I would chip in a little bit more if you want to, give these players some more money. And if you're in the bracket, why would you not do yourself?
Exactly. So we have Lucy switching to Work this time. This is probably their second best character from what I've seen. They've placed really well in online events with the starter actor.
Ooh, and that stand shield does not bode super well.
Nice.
All right, catches it.
That was a really long wait, too.
Yeah, it's kind of the meme, but you see it happen a lot where people will just kind of click shield and recognize the fact that, oh, my opponent didn't do anything, but they hold on to it anyway, thinking their opponent will kind of swing into the shield. Goes for the defensive moon drive, manages to get out of the corner with a couple of air dashes, avoids the stomp with the onions.
Oh no! Oh my god! Avoid the air unblockable actually with the range.
But the J4BC, however, EX Dragon Kick, nice corner carry. Now you're stuck in the awkward on potentially air unblockable, but finds a way onto the ground and healing with that heat.
And you can tell Lucy is not playing the ground game at all, because this is what happens when you start playing it.
I mean, the big thing there, I'm surprised that they didn't try to go for like a cross under there in order to maintain a positioning. Kind of just let
what?
OmniScythe get in, but crazy counter hit.
Yeah, why did that cross up the shield input?
I have absolutely no clue.
I guess it has to do with what way the person who hits the shield is facing. But that was very weird.
Not too sure, but either way, working out fantastically.
Yeah, immediately, he doesn't want to hold the Miyako block string.
Yeah. The DP. Yeah, trying to get the
BTVs.
trade though.
Oh, nice mash.
Very good challenge on the pressure there. Goes to the JC, and there we go. That's what I like to see. You see it a lot, but that dash under is super good in this game. In particular because it takes forever for like the opponent in the air to turn around. So you kind of leave them stuck, like attempting to like hit something up. Don't get me wrong, Miyako JB is right there, and I will acknowledge that. But getting out of there is very good for Lucy right there. Good shield.
Yes.
Going for the full punish as well.
Sure kill.
Yeah, cleans
Very
up quite
nice.
nicely. And it feels like Lucy has definitely got a game plan in mind and setting it in motion quite smoothly for the most part.
Yeah.
But again, it's a bit of a knife's edge because if things start to go wrong, it could go very, very badly.
That's just the type of game you're playing when it's Miyako on the screen.
Yeah. Gets the J4
Combo
DC.
Oh, I think the J2C hit weird, so I didn't let him get the follow-up.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of an awkward hit. And Lucy, comfortable to just back off. You gotta remember, Warp is a zoner, so charging up Moon, using Moon Charge rather, and just sending out a couple of projectiles in order to keep OmniScythe away is A-okay in their book.
Yeah.
Gets caught on the air backdash, however. Stuck in the air, avoids the air unblockable.
Nice confirm. Gets it this time. Spin the bar? No.
Nah.
Just gonna get the knockdown. Throw kills anyway, so I guess there's no reason to spin the bar here. Oh my god.
That is a couple of crazy clashes.
Oh, no punish!
No challenge. Oh, yeah. Didn't react to the heat. Lucy pops heat in kind. And now you're just going to let OmniScythe... Whoa!
Nice.
Very good
nice.
reaction arc drive there. Yeah, I was about to say, however, OmniScythe recovered so much health from that situation just there that they survived the arc drive.
Yeah.
You know, had Lucy tried to push that a little bit earlier out of OmniScythe, they would have been able to clean up the round, but now OmniScythe has a chance. Full Moon Drive as well. So we'll be able to go for a couple of pressure extensions should they opt for it. Lucy still managing to get the heat, couple of shields, back to
Runs out the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to chase me down if you want me to play. Oh, thought they could mash.
Yeah. OmniScythe just playing it very patiently. Ton of meter available, but can't spend that heat because Lucy can just react with a super.
Yeah, I like Lucy actually initiating the heat there because the time was starting to click, and if Miyako was in heat, they would recover more health than Lucy.
10 seconds left on the clock, and you know we're seeing it from Lucy, but they are willing to spend 99 seconds if they got to do that.
Yeah.
Wish the shield, but nothing crazy for it. And now we're just seeing both players just desperately try to dance around each other. Nice confirm off of the clash there, honestly. It's hard to react to that. Ton of damage from the start now as well. All it's going to take is one more hit. Speaking of
one
which,
bar
there it
kills. Why does that do like 1.5?
I mean,
does so much.
Kahlo didn't prorate too much beforehand.
Nice punish.
Yeah. Kind of hitting with the Melty Classic. Oh, wow, you ran out of air options? I'm just going to sit here and just punish your landing.
Lucy waiting out, trying to see if they're going to challenge. OmniScythe's going to challenge them again, challenge their reactions, but OmniScythe waits patiently for the heat to run out.
Yeah. Lucy manages to get the hit as well.
Oh, didn't block on wake up. I think they missed their DP input.
Possibly. Trying to keep them
Nice
sprung
mash.
up on OmniScythe, yeah, with a good mash. Solid confirm, a ton of meter to spend, but we are mashing in the White House.
Yeah, there is no blocking here.
Ooh, awkward drop there. Forced to keep in order to get Miyako away from her. OmniScythe pops Moon Drive.
Nice Moon Drive to keep themselves safe.
Cracked open by the cross.
Big damage. It's just like 5k. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Are you unblockable? Oh no, Lucy didn't keep pressing buttons.
Yeah, it looks like they're worried about OmniScythe opting for Air Shield. They're in Moon Drive, so they could always just pop that BC. And with a nice catch from OmniScythe, manages to get that game.
Yeah, and that game swung in OmniScythe's favor all because of cross-up.
Mm.
Cross-up and blood heat, goodbye help. Early
hit there with the JB, but nothing much else to show for it. And yeah, the story right now of this set has honestly just been Lucy attempting to use a lot of air movement, as you mentioned earlier, in order to kind of get away and dance around OmniScythe, and Omni just trying to adapt and catch the landings a lot.
Yeah.
Right there, again, trying to anti-air with the 2V, but Lucy getting a lot of clashes.
I wonder if Warp J2C would beat those 2D matches, because it has armor for whatever reason.
I'm not too sure. Ooh, did not get to the stand shield, and therefore gets hit. Gets the air throw ender.
It blocks the mix with the jump.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, OmniScythe looking like they're trying to get the winners finals.
Possibly. And what was definitely has been a big turn from game one. Now it feels like OmniScythe is just the patient one that's just waiting for Lucy to mess up and to punish them ruthlessly for it.
Yeah, when you're pressing all these buttons moving around like this, you're way more likely to mess up than someone who's sitting still.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? You know, you have to jockey for position, but you also, you know, inherently want to walk people down to the corner in order to kind of constrict their movement. But it feels like Lucy's just not comfortable enough to kind of do that, and I can't blame them necessarily, but it's kind of the nature of it in which you are forced to kind of just play this really risky neutral where the moment this character gets a hit, speaking of which, it can go from bad to worse very quickly. Whiffing a bunch of TVs. I mean, what is Ward gonna
combos?
do? What is Ward gonna do with that height? There's nothing she has with that height. The like,
and you're dead.
Air projectile is not gonna work out, and the fast quick out.
Oh man,
we all knew what was gonna happen there.
Yeah,
we didn't.
You're dead.
Yeah, that was death. Really excellent display of a more patient neutral from OmniScythe there. Kind of funny in that it felt kind of like the inverse of Abister in the sense where Abister really was able to play at a fast tempo in order to kind of bust out of the neutral, whereas OmniScythe is willing to play it a lot longer and then just directly challenge the movement from LucyBruh right there.
Yeah, and as we saw, 2B to go.
I mean, yeah, pretty good hitbox. I am shocked that it clashed as much as it did. It didn't get beaten out outright, but I mean, hey, when you know your character, you know what they can do.
Yeah. That was a nice adaptation.
Yeah. Moving on, what could easily be our next set could easily just be a straight up uni-like top 8 bracket.
Yeah.
It's going to be Foxiv versus Lunar.
Foxiv running it all the way back after losing to Kikoho early.
Yeah, that's true. He's had a nice run so far from losers. Took out
Yasoro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So making their way, and I'm not gonna lie, from here on out, no matter where you are, if you are still in this bracket, the going is tough. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's especially like with Melty, I feel like once you hit top 8 in our Melty brackets, it's just everyone's so strong.
Yeah,
it's wild.
You see the classic jump in terms of like, wow, you made a mistake and now you died. Damn. You see it much more frequently here. And I mean, hey, both players are definitely the type to capitalize on an opponent's mistakes. So we'll just have to see what goes on from here.
They're starting up the zoning pretty early.
Yep, gets thrown, spears are set, get thrown again. It's time to play strike throw.
Yeah. Funny lore between these two. They played in bracket of Uni at Climax, and Luna won from mashing. Wake up mashing.
It was I mean, Climax in general was a pretty crazy bracket with a ton of upsets and stuff. Luna Fox is arguably being one of them as well. Nice job jailing Luna right there. Goes for the throw, however, on good reaction to the overhead. Nice confirm here. Goes straight into arc drive. It's time to clean this round up.
Yeah, Luna's mashing coming in clutch with the wake up throw. Not the wake up throw, like the throw out of the overhead.
Yeah. There's good recognition on the Fox's offense. Top of the spear right there for trying to throw a projectile.
Shield, yeah. Not gonna do a fall, just gonna take the turn.
Nice moon skill teleport to get in close on Lunar right there.
What? Shield on your opponent's wake up,
Good lord.
and Luna mashed into it too. Overhead works this time.
If you know, you know. Oh, this is really good damage. Not able to kill it quite yet, but still very close in the 7 BC. I'm not there. You have to hold that.
Yeah, that's like one of the hard things about Art. She has a hard time baiting throw because her best bait is that 7 BC, which is shieldable.
I mean, 7 BC though is J7 BC is quite a powerful option on the character.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah,
If it did literally everything, that'd be crazy.
yeah. Get that J4BC again. Thrown. Alright, Lunar Pop Seed, Blood Heat! Okay, gets the hit. Unable to convert there. Just a little off from their horizontal momentum.
Well, he's covering a lot of health.
Back to normal now. Fox is finding the chance to snag
Oh, nice
a
overhead.
moon skill.
This doesn't kill, but it's real close. Now you gotta be careful with throw.
There's the EX now. Ooh, the OTG.
Oh,
was
there it
There it
was.
is. That's 7 VC.
Yeah, you thought you were gonna get thrown. Be careful.
And now we're going into game 2. Fox is looking a lot more comfortable in those later rounds, especially compared to the first.
Yeah.
Both players tracking a bit towards the position. Fox has kind of walked down Luna to the corner, but manages to switch sides and they're A-OK.
Luna's been pressing throw a lot more often than you should be, but gets a punish with that one.
I would say it's not necessarily a lot more than you should, and more that I think he really wants to threaten that usage of the spears in order to get Fox to start worrying about throw teching, because the reward off of getting the spear hit is certainly a lot greater than just throw, you know?
Right.
So it may be that, or they could just be stubborn, quite frankly. You never know.
Yeah. A couple of those dash up throws makes you
Good
feel like they're
reaction
being
throw,
pretty stubborn. And Fox was not going to block that if that hit. And they were crouched all the way through.
Good match from
Gets
Fox,
a heat.
challenging Luna's pressure. Yep.
Yeah, it takes the heat. Oh, it doesn't punish the DP.
Yeah, I got the reverse of the whip, but just a little too high. You hate to see it happen when you were right, but your hands decided not to do the thing. And then ends up
Because of that
losing
first
the
round.
Yeah, tragic. Jumps over the
Oh, that's a
spear,
punish.
shields the EX spear.
Oh,
Nice.
that's an interesting punish. I thought you were just going to shield B there, because that gives a fatal hit every time. Nice throw.
Yes. Now we get to set some Oki here, sets up that knee.
Oh, baits a
There
mash.
we go.
Yeah, Luna mashing 2C because it also catches IAD.
Yeah. Finishes the combo early with the teleport. Balloon is still ready to block afterwards. Gets the spear. It is time
Next
to
up.
guess. We are seeing more and more spears. Here we go.
Please, kids, when you see her flash blue, you gotta block high. Oh, just threw it out. It's really hard to
They're
punish.
unblockable, but great shield in reaction to that.
That's probably the best thing about Warwick's art strategy. You can't really punish it.
Moon drives on.
Oh,
throw
nice
attack,
call.
and gets killed and gets the kill from that. Nice job from Fox right there.
That was smart. Oh, that was a weird round start that happened between them. It goes in Luna's favor, which could be pretty big.
Yeah. We've seen them get tons of momentum off the spears. Fox is now wising up and just stand shielding them. Good counter hit from the spear, converts with that. Not a ton of damage, but getting the OTG certainly helps.
Yeah, it has him in the corner too. Fatal hit, that's big.
Not going to be enough to kill, but the next hit certainly will.
Yeah, not gonna spin meter because throw kills, I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Speaking of which. Yeah, it's just one of those situations where Spending the meter literally does nothing for your Oki, and if it's not going to kill, you might as well save it for utility for something else that might crop up.
Yep.
It's one of those
Even
things
if
where
it
you
doesn't
just-
go, it's in
Yeah.
next round.
You just got to know your damage. And certainly looks familiar there. Sends with the spear. Good shield from Foxu. EX teleports in, armors through all of the spears,
yeah.
all for naught.
Oh, having a little scrapple.
Yeah.
I'm heavily mashing. Tried to tech probably after the first hit.
Maybe. Caught something. Spends the meter. Sets up the ring.
Nice catch.
Bro. Nice.
Next hit kills. Oh!
Yeah.
This could be a big start. Not gonna go into heat.
Yeah. Same
Nice
side.
tech.
Text to throw. 7 BC, however, backs off on reaction to the moon drive. Fox has drawn this out of Luna, however, but Luna manages to get the heat after the throw. Immediate moon drive.
Nice throw.
However,
Oh, drop the
good
combo.
reversal, but yeah. Good fatal hit, but no confirm there. Just a bit awkward.
Wait,
however,
I'm pretty sure this kills.
launches
Yeah, this
up the
kills.
full conversion. There we go. Fox is already at set point now. And just I love just walking up to people with a round.
Yeah.
It's such a good feeling. Doing that
That's
is combo.
definitely a classic.
Yeah.
Just
You
heat
got
set
that
OP.
nice and long. Yeah. Not gonna get too much for it, honestly. The health regen didn't end up adding up to much.
These two are so back and forth. This actually is really close to death. This will be a throw kill situation, I think,
Yeah.
instead of death. Yeah, throw kill situation. Sex hit.
Yeah, and at this point, if I'm Foxes, I'm just trying to make sure that Luna drains their resources here.
Yeah, and I get some instead. Hopefully.
Yeah. Caught by the spear, though, probably caught in the initial dash animation. Remember, you can't dash block, you gotta throw the cojones out and shield instead.
That's the last round, losers. Oh, whiff shield gets punished by the
That is
Raven.
hilarious.
Yeah, just check the
Now,
situation.
back.
Gonna mash out, yeah. This time gets the combo. Oh no, it doesn't! I wonder how tight that link is.
Not too sure. Alright, manages to jump over.
Nice tech.
Tech from Luna.
Oh, neither of them got hit in that situation. Luna has the health lead, so it's gonna slow down.
Yeah,
But that's a big
Fox-
hit.
Yeah, Fox is a little more preemptive on his zoning there. Manages to get the hit, spends the meter to convert. However, that might just
Hey, you're
call
dead.
for not with the meters here, and that's
Yeah.
enough. And Luna takes it over Fox's 2-1.
Very clutch.
Yeah. You hate to lose in those situations where you just made that correct, like, you made a correct option, and you're kind of like, all right, sick. I just need like just one more, and I'm all set. And suddenly, it's just snatched from you. It's rough in these streets, but again, a great run from Foxov.
And his first time entering, too.
Yeah, happy to see them pull up for here. Hope to see them again. And moving next on stream, we haven't gotten the chance to see these players on stream today, actually.
No, not yet at all. Nico has made one hell of a loser's run.
I don't even like know who Nico is. I know they're in like the little Illuminati Discord with all the good players. I
Yeah,
haven't seen them play.
they went to losers early, and then literally have run. They beat Blue, they beat Plat, they beat Piko, and now they're playing Flamex.
Damn, that's really good. Yeah, I just realized Tenchi lost pretty early too. Tenchi's usually in top 8s.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Flamex. Oh, we got the Roa. Apparently the Roas have like something they're all specifically going for tonight. Jostle tweeted it out. Every Roa in this bracket has made it a goal to land the Java slide in honor of Java Mortis.
I hate role players. Role players they're so crazy, man.
They are a different breed, indeed.
I hate
Don't know
role
what it
players.
is, but
Java Morbius. I'm sorry, you're right.
oh god, who said that? Who said that?
Jostle typed it and Panda corrected me.
All right, I'll let them go with that one.
I won't.
17度目の婚姻だ。
戦いになると思う
But here we are, with
オープン
Arcueid
の
and
マジッ
Roa.
クサーキット
Yeah, lore matchup. Once again. iCup? Oh,
それで
I will not be caught lacking.
no. Yeah, I know about the iCup mix. That's the oldest mix in the book. The original These Nuts.
Truly.
まだ無礼者好きだよ
So when you're falling overhead, try to cancel in the moon drive there, but the
Oh, that's
cancel in the
unpunished.
moon drive didn't work out. Gonna be a good corner carry as well.
やった甘い甘いそれでそれで
Pick up
We got
overhead.
mids. We got mids on screen.
That was a falling air button. That's an overhead at that point.
What you talking about? These are mids.
Just the rising
Roa,
air moment.
Roa has no
マジック
overheads.
サーキット
And he has no mix.
I'm not doing this. What's more important is definitely the fact that Roa definitely has a couple of neutral swerver like options if you're not ready for it, in order to both punish wall you out and kind of slowly but surely crawl their way forward. Almost a nice confirm there, manages to get the IAT, however, sends the meter as well. Wow, drops it, but still manages to get a pickup. Cancels in the moon drive to squeeze out some damage. I respect it.
Yeah, I think they had a jump cancel and they could have done jump into it again.
I think, I'm not too sure. Either way, iCup immediately going for the Blood Heat, and they are a shield truther based on that mid-screen shield. Can't blame them given Roa's options there, but that definitely could be a bit of a tell for later on in the set.
For sure.
So we'll have to see what, or rather, Nico has to do. Not refer to them as iCup.
嬉しいね。
Chat, can you spell iCup for me?
17度目の婚姻だ。
Jesus.
また品のない器になったわね
If you can fully spell it, you should totally pop into the matchup, you know.
Okay. If
Not
you happen
me.
to miss.
Nice air throw and round start there. Gets the 6C, spends the meter, a little bit of moon charge, and has one bar still at the end of that.
Oh, tried to mash. Was actually minus. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, gotta remember, that wake up moon drive, you might have invulned through something, but you were -2 if your opponent did absolutely nothing, so you gotta be mindful of that. Setting up the 2-1-4A, just daring Nico in order to make a move right there. Does end up going for the moon skill DP, but goes unpunished, and Flamex just opts for the moon skill dash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, Monster
Triple
5A.
5A, you know the vibes.
Yeah, a little prorated because I was triple 5A.
A-okay though, got 4 bars now. Perfectly fine to spend it when you're gonna get it all back real soon. Yeah, not ready for that charge 5D to hit, unfortunately. Nice pickup from Flamex. Gets the 236C. What do we got here now? Same side. Pop the moon drive.
Mix up
Back
and
to
run
moon
out.
drive. Wow, cop of the moon skill dash.
Yeah, I gotta say that's probably one of the best mid skills in the game because that's like basically unpunishable on Shield too.
Certainly looks like Nico's having a hard time contesting it. Double overhead now. 2 bars available. Not going to be able to kill, I don't believe, unless...
Very close to going.
Yeah, not quite there yet, though.
Wait! No.
That was absurd
But
meter gain there,
reset.
but... Wow. Yeah. Managed to gain the meter for yet another EX, but wasn't quite enough there, but... They looked super comfortable. That's how you know when someone's just, like, very flexible, is when some crazy mistake happens in the middle of a confirm, and for some reason they're still ready for it, and you get hit, and you're like, are you kidding me? This idiot didn't even get to do this, and that. No, they were just ready and kind of just knew how to, like, just... Their hands were faster than their brain and just managed to, like, sync up and work out. But yeah, such a good air thrower. Jesus.
I'm watching the replay again.
Yeah, I'm literally looking back at it too. It's just, sheesh. Yeah, quite good. Now we're going to be moving forward.
Yeah, unfortunately, Lucy had to drop their net and started acting up pretty badly.
That's unfortunate.
So Lunar is going to go on to losers semis. So I'm actually going to call Flamex back in, and we're going to run NASHFAN versus Flamex.
Sure.
Wait, who is iCup? That's not.
iCup is Nico. I got mixed by this earlier. But yeah, that's just Nico.
All right, so Flamex is back. Let me get NASHFAN.
Yeah. So this will be presumably Maids versus the Rolla. Looks like we're not seeing any character swap here. I am not too sure how this will play out. It feels like NASHFAN definitely has solid offense, but it feels like it's we haven't yet seen them truly put somebody in the blender, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Like, we haven't gotten a chance to see them just like say, all right, hold this like quadruple overhead setup from Hisui, and by the way, there's a bento that's coming up next, you know. And in fact, some of their attempts at kind of locking down opponents have ended up getting challenged and beaten out. So let's see if we get more of that, or if NASHFAN has a bit more to show us.
And you know Nash. Nash is big labber, knows so many characters, very familiar with a lot of the cast. So they're not scared to play these matchups for the most part.
That's fair, but they definitely just let Flamex get an entire bar of leader at round start for free.
It happens.
No challenge or whatsoever. That is really good to get at round start. Gets the BC after that insane shield war now. And suddenly, after literally just 2 interactions, the next hit is for the round.
Pick up Mirror Drive. Delays their button.
Backdash is out of that Feather Duster. Again, Flamex is not really in any position to kind of force the issue. They have such a big lead, but they still get a great challenge.
Yeah, that's how you deal with T-Series little mix-up sometimes. You gotta show them that if you're gonna try to layer your offense, you better layer beyond my DP.
Yeah. Sets up the bento, manages to push Flamex into it.
Nice block.
Uh-oh. Great dive right there.
DP on Wake Up again. Full combo.
Amazing corner carry as well. Gets themselves right out of there. Gets the throw.
Oh, low shield on the Wake Up.
Yeah. And again, we've seen that like exact mix from Flamex quite a bit. They'll just do that jump over an air dash back into like an overhead. But it feels like people aren't quite ready for it, and their shields are getting crossed up. Ooh, great patience from NASHFAN to not go for a shield follow-up there.
Oh, it dropped. Usually he saved us 2-2C as our meter ender.
Yeah. He gets caught by the delay string there. Nice stagger from Flamex. And
yeah, Nash probably scared of throw.
Yeah. And at this point, I gotta think, I mean, I'm just wondering necessarily kind of what Nash adjusts to in order to kind of take control back from this set. Because right now, it is not looking very, like, in their favor at the moment. Shield ward later. There's that charge 5C.
Okay. Nash shouldn't start this time. Nice tech from Flamex.
Solid blocks, but yeah.
Oh, nice! Oh, nice.
What I would say if they didn't have counter hit it. Very smart of them to cancel into the EX move there, but that was just a situation that you would not know. That is a weird moment. Yeah, that was definitely would have been the right call out had NASHFAN been farther out, but it looks like they would have had to cancel the EXDP to beat out that 5C armor. Unfortunate.
I was ready to like say, "Oh my God, Flamex reaction to that chair is pretty sick," but then got punished, unfortunately. But
what if you thought you were right, but then you were actually wrong?
what if you said, "I want to punish chair," but God said, "This is chair."
Oh, and there's that kid.
That's traded.
Cannot rush into it. That kid glass for freaking ever, man.
Yeah. And
No, yeah, Flamex was
Nash
obviously
playing
charge to
really
get,
slow.
I feel like sometimes Nash's patience kind of ends up screwing them over because letting Flamex go for that moon charge means that they had half meter, which in turn means that they were able to pop moon drive there. It's one of those small things that, because you give your an opponent an inch, they are able to do a lot more with it than you may realize at first. Nice charge.
Yeah, this doesn't kill.
Yeah.
Waited, tried to get a throw attack, but didn't get it. Nice patience from Flamex.
Succeed, goes for the EX move.
I don't agree with Heat. I don't agree with Heat. You're not getting anything back. Throw kills you anyway. Like that.
Wow. As if on cue, huh?
Wow. Maybe I should have been in this tournament. I'd
Perhaps.
attack that throw.
But yeah, the utility that you would get from holding Heat there is not really that great. I mean, congrats, you do have your arc drive that's available, but 214C is still a pretty solid option to cover the space there. And because the Heat timer is so low, it really means nothing for NashFan to just kind of sit and just wait for it to peter out. Goes to the deep dash, gets thrown for it. Or rather, it gets thrown for the shield.
I looked away and Nash is sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
Very patiently. Oddly patiently,
And
actually.
Flamex was literally just standing there. We're gonna see the moon drive? No. He cannot do that raw. I expect people to not punish you for it.
Wait, I don't think he can moon drive that actually. Can he?
I thought he could, but I could be wrong.
It's a reversal, so I would assume not. Yes. The moon ladle. Uh-oh. Finally, something beats chair.
Yeah, goes to the moon skill, and we chair anyways.
Yeah, chair again. Knew the DP was coming.
This time,
there we
he's
go.
gone with the proper DX move.
And this kills, actually.
Just barely.
Wait!
Or not.
No, it doesn't.
Wow. Good JA.
That was amazing, Jay.
Okay, back to neutral now. Both players actively moving around, but however, Flamex gets the throw. 2. 3.
Oh my god, we're
Can
getting
I get a
loops.
4?
I thought we were playing Melty, not Yini.
Unfortunately, rule of threes it was. NashFan manages to get out. Start their offense indeed. Defensive moon drive from Flamex. Doesn't lead to too much.
Where's him up the moon skill?
Yeah. I don't know if a moon
Flame-
might be there. Not sure why.
Yeah, Flamex took like 5k in throw.
Yeah. Pops the heat.
Oh, big counter hit. No combo.
Get the
Just
follow
gonna take
up.
the plus frames now.
Yeah. Goes for the empty IED, but doesn't get anything.
Throw. We're still taking throw. Have you even... Okay, here comes the combo. I was gonna say, have you even got comboed yet? This kills, by the way. I'm pretty sure this kills.
Word?
Yeah, this kills.
Jesus, that is a great
I'm nasty.
meter dump.
I got that one. I missed the one earlier, but I knew that one was killing.
Now we're moving on to the last round of this game. Gets the throw.
Oh, wake up,
Yeah.
Nash.
Trying to back off and maybe play it a little bit cutely, but at that point, if your opponent's forced to dash up in there, I do not blame Nash for like just mashing on that incoming.
Yeah, there's not much Flamex can do there. Oh my god.
Yeah, managed to beat out it looks like a clash situation out there. Finally seeing some Kohaku assist. Let's go.
I could have been waiting all game for that.
She has been sitting so patiently, waiting for
Oh,
her
he
turn
gets
to game.
mix.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're seeing a little bit more of that.
It's funny because when you call Kohaku like that, you can't hit Hisui, or Kohaku just hits you and she gets a combo.
Mhm. Now I believe that was the set. That was 2-1. Sheesh.
Yeah.
I was so ready for that to like have more games to go through. But it is what it is. Really good showing from both players. That was a very fun set.
We got the Miyako mirror now.
Oh,
Get me out of here.
yeah, put me in, coach. I am excited to see this one.
It's winners finals, Abister and OmniScythe.
Pretty neat. I have no idea how this is going to go, which is always exciting. But yeah. So my expectations is that either A, we get to see OmniScythe kind of try to slow down the pace of the game, or B, we immediately see a bloodbath and quite frankly a slobber knocker, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, you never know when it's Miyako.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think regardless, it's going to be explosive one way or the other. Like whoever just connects first.
Yeah. I think, you know, it ends up being kind of the story of how good is your defense and how solid is your neutral. Can you get out of some pretty messed up situations on Miyako, who also actually, quite frankly, has great reversal options. So it's not like, you know, she's starved for, like, it's not like, oh my god, I got hit, I need to use defensive mechanics that Miyako can play around, like, pretty solidly. It's, oh, well, that kind of sucks, but I got pretty good DP and other things as well. So, you know, we'll just have to see how that kind of plays out. Watching the difference between people's defensive options on the same character is very funny. Just in terms of kind of like, oh, you think this way, or you took this character in this direction, and such and such. Yep.
All right, let me get OmniScythe in here. We got Abister. Omni will hop in. I'm trying to remember what color Omni takes. Oh, there he is, the brown.
That color, that's all my favorite Miyako. If I had the lack of soul to play this character, I'd play brown Miyako.
You're good. Okay, I'm going to bet on a round start backdash. And then a round start. No, probably not a round start. Okay, well, none of that happened, so I feel terrible.
Yeah, these are offensive Miyako. Shields to overhead. Yeah. Oh my god.
Great reaction to that already.
Reset throw.
Air throw now.
Yeah, these are Miyako players. You know you're gonna have to guess. Neither of them know. Yeah, neither of them wants to block their character. They both know.
OmniScythe getting opened up by the crosshair right there. Gets the air throw ender. Tries to DP out, but Abister, yeah, absolutely ready for that. And that should be the round there.
Yes.
1 bar meter.
The playground matchup in the back alley.
Truly.
There should be a schoolyard stage, like an actual schoolyard, and not like the courtyard of a school.
I suppose.
That's
good anti-air right there.
What? Nice reaction to the Clash go. Oh my god.
This is the most Clash on normals that I've seen, like, in a day, in ages. Quite
And it was like all of them have been Miyako. Minus chance of DP, let them know.
Yeah. Barely any of them have been, like, armored normals, like charge JCs and stuff either, which is funny.
Oh my god.
Still goes
OmniScythe mashing on minus. And
you gotta mash when your opponent is plus. And I mean that sincerely. Because otherwise your opponent will think that they can get away with like everything under the sun. And you have to show them that you're still willing to do things that are a little nutty. Alright, back
I wonder if Abister tried to do unblockable setup there.
Not sure. Very, very needy JC right there. Jesus. Another air throw.
Oh.
Shields the reversal this time. But
Unfortunately shields it. When you shield that DP, your punish gets all messed up.
Yeah, you have to be very ready for different punishes depending on your whether you let it whiff, shield, or if you just if you blocked it, it's a lot simpler. But yeah, especially if it whiffs and she goes far, you're like. Sometimes you can be strapped for a punish and you have to just go for like a hopeful dash like 2C. Either way though, OmniScythe starting to look a lot more comfortable, but anything can change at any moment.
I want to see a Miyako do an unblockable, honestly. Oh my god, what is happening? Nice combo.
Slamming buttons.
Oh yeah, we're absolutely pressing.
Nice reaction moon drive right there to Abister. Gets the hit. Taken to the corner now. Gets the throw. Into the overhead. Ooh, yeah.
That punished the heat?
Yeah, that heat was not looking good.
Oh, it didn't punish the heat. They just got hit.
Yeah.
That's confirmed.
Yeah, Abister with the round start JC right there. However, OmniScythe managing to get that hit. A little air throw. And we are mashing on Mordred. You are minus, my friend. I didn't press a single button.
Uh-oh, shields that. Oh, tries to be it. Because if you BC, I think it whiffs.
Yeah.
Oh my
follow
god.
up here. Should be able to kill with Arc Drive.
Yeah, Arc Drive kills. Oh, didn't get the input.
Ooh, yeah, messed up the cancel there, looks like.
Punish.
However, cleans it up, still gets that win.
Oh, it didn't take my room changes. It was supposed to keep the room settings. It's first to 3, guys. Keep going. I changed it.
Yeah. It's all good. Oh, yeah. Currently, right now, OmniScythe is up 1-0. Looks like Abister just... Oh, no. Looks like OmniScythe is just kind of taking a quick moment. Oof. But yeah, again, that first game was pretty interesting. I was assuming it would be a bit more even, but it felt like OmniScythe kind of like took a moment after round 1 and said, alright, fine, let me make these adjustments. And then started to clean up more and more. And that's one of those things that you start running into a lot at this point in the bracket. You know, we're here at Winners Finals, where you are still stuck in that adapt or die scenario, despite it being, 3 out of 5,
Yeah. Well, now they only have one more chance to adapt.
Here we go, continuing on with the mirror. 2B wisp, that's okay, go for the stomp. Ooh.
Didn't expect that 5B to hit, probably.
Yeah. Gets out of the B follow-up.
Cross up. Did they try to roll? It looked like they tried to do something.
I'm not too sure.
Oh,
Either way,
stand shield.
going up there, yeah.
One more guess. Tries the min drive to check it.
It's
What the
failing,
heck?
but no conversion. Wow! How
What?
did you have a...
What?
Why?
How many hits does that have?
That was... No, that was... OmniScythe was ready to cancel into JA, JB, and JC, and all of them still managed to flash in time with the Moonskill BP. If that ain't crazy, I don't know what to tell you. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Miyako's Moonskill DP only has 2 hits, so why did it clash 3 times?
I don't know. I'm not, you're gonna have to ask a lab monster on that end. Abister ready to block the cross up after a quick fuzzy jump. Gets the kill now.
There you go, that was the round start backdash.
246B is blocked, same side. Gets a hit still.
Oh my god.
Alright, good fuzzy jump out of the stomp. However, shield immediately was primed there. It goes for the BC follow-up in order to punish OmniScythe. Combo a little bit early. OmniScythe goes for the blood heat. That is
Oh my god.
Gets
Yeah.
the full
Oh,
spin
drop
swap.
the OTG.
And there's
doesn't
the
work.
arc drive, but just a little too low to the ground. Otherwise, that would have been a fantastic anti-air.
Yeah, I respect the attempt.
The clash. I think they clashed on the same exact normals literally last game. JC whiffs because of the bone frames. And that should be it with one more bar to spend. Just kidding.
Didn't have enough.
Yeah. Not quite there. And this could be heat. Yeah. Wants to get that health back. Any combo will do it here.
auto combo.
Speaking of which, right there. But definitely
easiest
worth going
combo.
for, yeah, definitely worth going for it in order to survive a couple of trades and leverage Arc Drive for that short time.
Wait. Oh my god, air shield.
Yeah. Shield wars follow you no matter where you go, by land, by sea, or by air. Jumps over the Moonskill Stomp, but Abister still presses on, undeterred.
Her auto combo is anti-air right now.
Yeah. Yeah, for a solid damage.
Nice
Hot
call
low
out.
though, yeah. seeing a lot more shields from both players in that kind of same offensive situation where they're kind of looking for the falling overhead, but both players getting caught up by the sweeps. Ooh, really good round set from OmniScythe here. Ooh, yeah, try to go for the throw.
Yeah, that combo is probably supported for a lot, but it gets a reset instead.
And then drive dash out of the corner, anti-airs, very good. Pick up after the dragon too.
Dash out again.
Yeah, and there it is. Like,
Turns.
you see that in MLT a lot more and more, like over time, where you get that kind of mood drive, your opponent's in the air. A really good option to go for is just kind of dash out and just switch sides with them and put them into the corner. Abister cleaning up that round now, and suddenly it is 2-1 Abister.
Is this collusion from Emp? He's making it go back to the room so they can take breaks.
2-2. No, it's not. I didn't bother to change it when they hop back out because I think they would have had to both hop off the thing, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, that was too late. The next set is 4-2.
Yeah, and the next set's first to 2 anyway, so.
It's all good, no worries. But yeah, moving in with what could be the potentially last game of this set right now between OmniScythe and Abister here at Winners Finals for Monday Night Mashfest.
Loser potentially has to fight Nashfan. Nashfan or who else? I keep forgetting.
Winner of Lunar and Nashfan.
Lunar.
Lunar, yeah. I have goldfish brain sometimes.
All good, no worries about it. OmniScythe getting a pretty good opener currently. Oh, really wanted the heat, but it was just not in the cards, unfortunately.
Accidentally got a hit and got a little confused.
Yeah, with the 2B, but still recovered in time in order to get the anti, in order to get the 5A. EP out from Abister. Ooh.
That's confirmed.
Counter hit there. Not a ton of damage, but it's a start. Okay,
OTG
combo.
kills?
There we go. Yeah. Because there was very little scaling there before the EX Dragon Kick. There was just like 2 normals into it. Makes sense. Backdashes. Still
Overhead.
I haven't seen that more from either of them in a couple of games, actually. Funny enough.
Yeah, they've been doing cross-ups. Whenever we're getting reset overheads in the last game, that's the perfect time.
Here we go. OmniScythe still got 2 games to go if they take this one. Keep that in mind. Okay. We are seeing so many goofy clashes.
Basically, but this didn't punish. Oh wait, it did punish still.
Yeah,
Okay.
still got the punish. We're okay, except we dropped the combo. We got 2 bars. Great shield. Waiting for a
There's a
response
kill.
from Abister. And just pressed a couple of buttons. Nice.
Honestly, making an adaptation right at the end.
Surprisingly, going back to the room, they could. This is still 2-2 at this point.
No, that was the last game.
That was the last game.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
I swear to God, there's always every single time.
It was because the first game was like a 2-minute game. It was like a 2-second game.
That was fast, and then everything else was like
Yeah.
a bit more of a nail biter. And it's like, oh, God, yeah, that was a really good backdash on the heat there. You got to get that call out.
Oh, nice. We broke 130 in the match arena. Let's go.
Let's go. And all the codes are used up. Thank you guys so much for putting into the match arena. I know it can be at times a bit bothersome to hear people talk about it over and over again, but you have to stay with me here. It is literally free money that people are missing out on. I cannot shout about it enough.
Yeah, it's literally the difference between a Happy Meal and a 10-piece.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
It's
one.
true.
But yeah, once again, thank you guys for putting into the match arena. If you really want to, you can always donate some money as well. You know, it's going to the players and such. Always helps the TOs out as well. But you know, do that at your discretion. Nobody's gonna force you to do anything there. But yeah, we are moving on kind of quickly from that onto losers semis.
I just looked at chat. Lunar said, before we play, I just want you to know whoever loses this actually wins. That's big though. Bracket Miyako is a threat.
Oh, for sure. Even in longer sets as well. Yeah, patient neutral. But again, you know, that thing that I mentioned last time with NASHFAN, really passive. Lunar almost has 3 bars and has not really interacted with NASHFAN like at all. They set spears and just moon charge the full meter. That is really not good. You do not want to play like that passively, especially when you still have like Kohaku assist you can call out in order to kind of like push forward without really risking yourself. Tries to go for the fire bombs, but Lunar gets out of there. Still gets the hit, however, so pretty good for NASHFAN now. Spends the meter. You might as well when you got so much of it. Gets the throw, sends the spear. Wow!
Nice delay BC. Prorated damage and combo, but still very good.
Spears are set, but NASHFAN just high stance shields, and yeah, you can clearly see like Luna's plan at this point. If they have like, if they're in neutral and they got resources to get, you bet they're willing to just moon charge in order to get it. And it's up to NASHFAN at this point in order to contest it. But you know, Noel makes very good use of meter, as you can clearly see with like just spending all those EXs there.
Yeah. I don't know why, but for some reason when she has 3 pins down, she goes into her EX, it adds so much to the combo.
Yeah, does a ton. Sets up the Feather Duster now. Great cross-up right there. Gets the air throw, what are we looking at?
Right,
Low 2A. Counter hit, looks like Lunar was matching something. Air throw ender again, tries to go for the 5C. BC's out.
Oh, BC back, yeah. That's the zoner classic these days. These BC delay BC backs doesn't beat that.
Yeah, the shield wars continue. Overhead spears. Good damage already.
X up. Oh, I don't know what it did.
That is not looking good. Yeah, that is definitely death.
Yeah, you got. Wait, didn't have meter.
Well, wait, there's more. Blood heat. Could shield it!
Oh my! You're dead! You're dead! You're absolutely dead.
Got caught lacking, my friend.
Alright. Kick her in the back, Akiha. Go ahead and kick her in the back.
Dang. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you forget they're in blood.
Oh, anti-air.
Good spears, yeah.
Luna's not letting blood heat affect them at all.
Yeah, you just gotta go right into it.
Nice tech.
Good tech. Presses
Oh,
afterwards.
that's gonna mess up the kill potentially. Yeah.
Yeah, prorated a ton of the damage. Woo! Bit of a weird follow-up there, but gets the IAD normal. Cleans up quite nicely. But yeah, now up a game, and what has been an interesting set so far. Let's see what we got now, though. Looks like NASHFAN wants to play it out a bit more aggressively based on that round start alone. Yep, dashing through the spears this time. Already a great adaptation from them. Charge 5C as well. I like the idea of it. But yeah, it looks like they're just worried about that kind of situation where they kind of dash up and then get caught by it. If you take to the air, well, do you really want to get jailed by Noel?
Oh, trying to throw.
Doesn't work out super well. Now you're stuck in the mix again. Strike throw. Nope, we are gonna heat out of there.
Oh, that's big. Gets our strike real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, wake up throw. Got the throw tech this time. Big counter hit. Won't get any meter yet. Nice block on a mix. Oh, he tried to throw tech again.
There it is, yeah. And that, I feel like, has been kind of the one thing I've seen from NASHFAN especially, is the way they throw bait with the dive. It's quite fantastic. Gets a couple of shields now, trying to play it out a bit more aggressively. Doesn't work out in this instance, but should they make a couple more changes, might start to work out a bit more favorably. Gets the shield. Damn, shield just entirely whiffed.
Alright, 5C in. Oh, 5C loses? Not
tried to chair through the spears, but yeah, surprised that it worked out.
Right, mix.
Tried to go for
you can't
the
even Lado it.
On top of that, Luna was already prepared with the shield and still got to convert off the counter hit.
Yeah. Good reactions.
Alright, back to neutral. Yeah, Luna now trying to catch Nashfan's movement a bit more since they're playing it out a lot more aggressively, but it feels like Luna is absolutely comfortable with this change of pace.
Luna's looking like they want to be the loser who has to play against Miyako.
Yeah, good charge 5C in order to catch the backdash from Luna. Gets him out of the corner with the air throw, but yeah. Blue drive goes in the favor of Nashfan, and this should be the round.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
And that arc drive will definitely do it. Now we are 1-1.
Yeah, that was probably the craziest commentator curse I ever said, because Luna was winning until I said they looked like they were doing pretty well.
Yeah. It's a little strange to me because it felt like the moment Nashfan started playing more aggressively, Luna was prepared for it and still managed to get good hits, but over time I think Nashfan's getting a bit more comfortable flexing some of their options, but we'll have to see how it carries out as the set progresses. Already though, it's a pretty damn good opener for Luna. I do say
overhead.
So good spears, good EX.
Nice tag. Shield again.
Gets the follow-up.
Mario Party is enabled right now. Rumble enabled too.
Yeah, really good JC right there. Gets the air throw ender.
Mix,
Table now.
man. Yeah, Nash has been layering these mix-up off air throw really well. That should kill.
Nice ladle.
Oh, he dropped!
That is most unfortunate. We'll have to see if that really changes things. Ooh, got caught with a low, but no follow-up, however.
Heat's that guaranteed heat, but wake up buttons.
Not quite there, and yeah, that one small little drop costed them the round. That is unfortunate. EX right there. Pressure starting. Should be another. Yep, there it is to set the spears down. Moving charge. We get a little bit of that meter back. Ooh, goes low after that empty jump. Nice.
Yeah. They're looking really nice right now. Lunar. Uh-oh. Right as I said they were looking nice, your BC is...
Okay. Another BC. Ooh,
Oh, with the 5-hit and press. Luna pressing vigorously.
Not sure what they were pressing after. That was a very deep dash up right there.
But this should kill. Right, hopefully no drop.
Yeah. Sure.
Alright. So I guess Lunar is the loser of this set. They get paid for losing. Fortunately enough.
They get paid for winning despite a loss. But now they get to go for the run back against Abister, considering they put them in losers in the first place.
Yeah, I want to see if Luna can kind of figure out what they need to do against this character. This monster. My little monster running around.
Yeah. Honestly, it looks like it's hard for him to find the answers there, but sometimes when you go in, when you have that first set to go with, you have gathered enough data, maybe you end up catching their other sets, and you have a feeling for how they like to play. So we'll have to see if Lunar has a bit more at the ready. Frankly, just in terms of just walling out Miyako.
Dude,
it was looking pretty difficult for them at first.
I don't envy Lunar right now. With like who's left in their bracket, the Miyako gauntlet. It's rough.
If this was me, I'd be cute, no cap. I'd be like, what? Great showing. I'd be like, great showing. I'm gonna go get my Uber Eats. I'll talk to y'all next week.
You kidding me? I'm going through it. What? You're telling me you would not work for what is probably 30 minutes for more money? That's crazy.
Significantly more money too. Like
that noise. What?
Yeah, you gotta see it through.
You're bugging. You're bugging.
I'm taking my Happy Meal. What are you talking about?
You do you, but I'm trying to win it all, quite frankly.
I'm gonna tell them see me offline. I don't know what else to say.
You gonna DQ offline too?
No, I'll play offline.
You're sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
The offline rage quit is a whole that's a whole other can of worms. I've seen it a couple times now, and I'm just like, whoa, damn, okay.
can be a little intense sometimes, but
Nah, I've been competing for like 7 years now. I'm used to offline. Online, I'd be getting tilted as hell because I'm in my own little room.
yeah. And that is definitely one of those environmental factors kind of going into these brackets sometimes. I'm not going to go on it too much at length. At this point, you guys kind of already know that feeling of it, but right now we got a whole set to play here. Okay, Abister popping that BC already. Doesn't get anything for it. Lunar Minions can get the first opener here. Sets up the spears. It is time to block.
Oh.
In the case of Abister, attempt to moon skill and get hit for it.
Yeah, and these weird hits off that Oki have been throwing Lunar off. I haven't seen him get a combo yet off those air hits.
Yeah. Tried to go for the throw, but backdash from Abister. Do a quick little punish. Gets another hit, sends him into the corner.
DP hits from behind finally.
Yeah, that's a big old reversal indeed. Cross up, there it is.
Ooh, oh, why are you rolling in front of me?
Yeah.
Cartwheeling around.
Bulldoze their way in. However, Luna finally gets the hit. Tosses out the spear, but you are not threatening the meaty there. I am pressing buttons.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but did that 2v6 seed at Whiff have like no recovery?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'd have to blink, and if I blinked, so I missed it. Spears are set again. Manages to get the cross up overhead, I believe. Sheesh, that was 30.
Yeah.
More meter, more mix.
Yeah, one more guess. You can't get thrown either. Sees the overhead, yeah.
Nice
Shields.
counter moon drive to stay in on the offensive.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Nice. Stars in heaven.
That was insane.
Dumping the meter here.
Wait, are you
Still
dead? You're dead.
Yes, you are gone. You are not of this world. Just kidding. One more
He didn't
chance.
spend the extra moon skill for the kill.
Yeah, I like the idea from the stomp from Abister, but they definitely were not paying attention to Luna's air actions.
Yeah.
Good hit here.
Okay, has him in the corner early. Wake up shield. Delay A to get the punish on the landing. They're smart. She can jump cancel that! Get me out. Get me out of this game. I'm uninstalling. No way she can jump cancel that on block. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Come on and design this character.
You know how it is.
You're dead.
Nah.
You're slowly but surely dying.
Hold on a second. Okay, now.
You're slowly but surely dying.
And yeah, that's the thing. It feels like with Abister, especially the moment you lose the grip and momentum, you just suddenly things are gonna happen, and if you're not ready for that fast-paced ride, you're going to get caught up. You know, it's very clear that Abister is both good at playing around in the neutral for a bit, and also quite good at scrapping. Shields it.
BC'd a little late.
Yeah. Probably was
Shield
waiting
that.
for Abister to BC counter and was looking for the delay BC in order to punish her.
Oh my
The
god.
moon skill
Abister's
BC.
all over Luna.
Yeah.
And it's weird because this character's a zoner, so when you're rushing her down like this, she's starting to have a lot of trouble.
Well, it's kind of a mix between like a lot of set play, like on top of
Yeah.
some tools, like not necessarily strict zone.
Definitely not strict zoner,
Yeah.
but her zoner is really good still. Overhead, oh, counter hit too. Oh, what? That drop! Oh,
Yeah,
no.
You gotta finish your food. You gotta do it, because otherwise you're gonna lose a round and it's gonna go awry. Nice 2B right there.
I'm hoping that it's not tilting Luna, because that stuff is like it's so easy to spiral down when you're playing against this character too.
Oh, for sure. Spears are still set from like 10 seconds ago, keep that in mind. Sets a couple of new ones, triggers them now, and yeah, just trying to stay very safe and just be mindful of Abister's options. You can see that they're just using the spear to like stay plus and also give them the chance to pop, give them the chance to shield in case Abister does anything shady or
Counter, oh my goodness.
couple of counter hits, but no big punish yet. However, Luna manages to get the first big opener here. Sets the spears down, and once
Another
again,
counter hit, yeah, I got mixed up. That's cross up, by the way. I don't know why she has that, but she has it.
Definitely got an input crossed up there.
Nice block on the
Spears
cross up
again.
this time.
Yeah. Try to go for the
double
2B, but
overhead.
Luna very conscious of it and just backs away.
I think you're dead.
Should be.
Yep.
Yep.
Wait!
Just a little bit more. Oh, unfortunately, you now gave Abister heat.
Okay, that fatal hit should kill. Meter included.
I'm away for the KO to hit the screen. It did indeed kill. Alright, and now Luna's showing pretty good signs of life. Already going much better than their first set, like earlier in the bracket.
Oh,
Get in with the 260, I believe, there.
yeah.
Wow, still got the extension on here. Damage.
Why she can? I hate this. I hate that she can jump cancel.
Great!
Nice.
Oof, Luna very on top of the shield sequence there. Unfortunately, not quite there with the conversion, but this time gets it. Spends the meter, sets the spears down. It's time to guess. Yeah,
these
still trying to
shields
match out there. But yeah, again, Luna's just ready to just shield and say, all right, you got a reversal option. That's cool. It's also not going to work. Nice cross up with the dash jump there. Abister often just shield the spear there. Try to dragon kick, but Luna's just sitting there waiting, saying, oh, okay, cool. I'll just anti her, I guess.
Yeah. Backdash this time. Knows Luna that is waiting for mashing out on Oki.
Very expectant of the reversal there, so good on them to backdash. However, if that gets called out, it is not going to look very good.
Oh, this is big
usage of
damage.
moon- yeah, that was a really cool moon drive right there. However,
Wait,
you are now
you're actually dead. You're one drop.
We are really just a couple of bastards for cursing.
How is
everybody
this
quite as much as
happening?
we've been doing today.
How is this happening right now?
Dragon kicking, yeah. Luna just wants to wait out the heat time over there. Pretty good.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, this does not kill. It's okay.
Yeah.
Definitely not enough. They would have had to go for a different EX move, and looks like Luna just wanted to knock down and didn't want to make the guess. Abister gets the hit. Not a lot of health to work with.
DP.
Yeah.
Let him know. Let him know, Luna. You gotta DP on Waco sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, the reversal got caught up a ton, I believe, in their set, if I remember correctly. So they haven't been showing it very much, and they definitely don't want to eat counter hit damage from Miyako. However, when the time comes, you just gotta go for it. Tries to go for the spears, but
Save.
still able to shield it. Part of armor there from the double skills, but we're good.
That hits from behind too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Minus. Oh. Okay. That was a weird scenario to happen. Big counter hit.
Set the spears down. All right, time for you to block. Ooh, I believe he walked forward out of the spear. Interesting. Oh,
shield.
yeah. Fortunately, though, if it was Moon Skill Stomp, that would have possibly had a chance, but that Super Flash is a dead giveaway.
Luna looking really nice right now.
Yep, setting the
Oh
spears.
my.
You can tell that
That
they just have,
punishes-
like, yeah. Goes for the arc drive, yeah, to spend all the meter. And maybe a little bit more health back, but I mean, the damage there,
Yeah, that damage was ridiculous.
yeah.
Nice
Slow
tap.
attack.
Oh.
Yeah, plus this tries to mash, just goes for the 2-2-6 afterwards.
Yeah, we shoulder bash in neutral sometimes.
Very good dash right there.
Oh, that cross up.
Alright.
Oh, we dropped the combo, but
meter, yeah.
it's a second
There,
chance.
yeah, you definitely want a lot of damage in meter game for it. Okay, we know that you're shielded. Please don't do that.
Do it again, do it again.
Oh, Jesus
Please do it
Christ.
again.
That was
And then match it on plus. Abister's going a little crazy now.
I don't have anything nice to say, so I'm not saying anything at all. Goes for the speed
And
there.
then mash 236C on wake up.
Okay, pretty awkward couple of hits there, but still manages to squeeze out the heat with one last EX move.
Plus.
Options
What?
yeah,
What is
goes the
Abister
way.
doing?
Well, consider it like this. Each other time, Luna's been going for some sort of mix-up or just opting straight up for the shield, but funny enough, they haven't really been doing a lot of 2As once the spears are set.
Yeah. It's weird because like Abister's getting hit on plus frames. That's what's confusing.
Yeah, they might think
Nice
that
whip punish.
they might think that Luna's trying to opt for some really crazy mix, and think that Abister's going to respect them or something of the sort.
Nice
Yeah.
DP.
Goes for EX this time.
She
Tries
can
to go for the
jump
overhead,
cancel EX
but,
DP.
It was an EX move, I guess. I don't know.
It's a
Either way,
reversal.
spears are set. This could be it for the set to determine the loser's finals. The Heat
What a
gets
bait!
baited out! Nice
Yo!
backdash!
That was really sick bait.
That is definitely a way that I want to see losers finals end. That was nice.
And if you like that bait, we have sponsor quests in the match arena. We're all out of codes, but the sponsor quest adds a lot.
Yeah, you can always add a little bit with the sponsor quest of the match arena. Of course, you got the money. You can also donate as well, but you know, nothing too crazy there. I mean, Jesus Christ, I would throw $1 in potentially after seeing that backdash going. Golly.
That was clean.
Yeah, that was nice. However, now you get to fight a Miyako of a slightly different, what's the word for it?
Flavor, variety.
Slightly different temper is the word that I would go for. We'll have to see how this ends up playing out. I'm very curious to see what both players will end up doing. I don't know if they've caught each other in these brackets before. I don't think I've seen OmniScythe at Monday Night Mashfest in a little bit.
Yeah, he joined a lot, and then he took like a few off, and now he's back apparently.
I mean, hey, like he never left, sitting in winner's side of grand finals here. But yeah, I mean, all things considered, I think both players are pretty ready to get into it. Whew. Man. Grand finals, Noel and Miyako. I would say this should be very, very interesting indeed. I'm very curious to see how OmniScythe responds to a lot of the spear mix, and see if he either is using some of the same ideas as Abister, or perhaps has labbed other things out. Opening up now, spears are set, gets hit with a throw here.
Very early strike throw.
Wow, that was an amazing reaction to the move skill to go straight into moon drive there.
Yeah.
Jesus, okay, that was sick. Gets the cross up again. And this is looking real smooth. That's a very smooth round one if you're OmniScythe.
Yeah. You're on winner's side too. You like to see that. Yeah.
Indeed you do. Tries to go for the deep dash up throw, but OmniScythe just jumps back, gets hit with the moon skill, however. Should be a couple of spears set now.
Oh, mix up and mix up.
Yeah, not sure what the setup was there. Calls the spears now finally. Disguises the double overhead from the IAB. Hard to tell what he was going for there with the explosion. Sets more spears. It's time to block again. You got hit with the cross up.
One of the only characters that has a super jump cross up like that.
Yeah. Lunar firing back with a perfect after that in round one.
Anti-air. Lunar's been so good about that.
Super watchful of his opponent's movements with the way he's using some of these spears.
Oh, didn't recognize that they had to use their...
Ooh,
I don't even know what it's called anymore.
Manages to get the fallen JB. Solid confirm here. That move drive's about to be over. Yep, runs out. Good shield on the opponent's wake up. Solid damage, 3 bars. Now you're worrying about...
Back off the mix up, yeah. Oh, we can see the button.
Yep. Goes to the shield. No follow-up after the fact. Goes for the...
You're dead.
And you are not of this world. Game 1 settling down and pretty quick. We saw two pretty all 3 rounds, frankly, were quite explosive.
Yeah. Slobber knocker rounds.
Not quite a slobber knocker. We haven't seen any crazy trades and clashes yet, but I would not be shocked to start seeing them. Ooh, caught trying to go for the rebeat pressure, looks like. The XPs are set. It is time for you to block.
Mix up.
Yeah. Got the DP, but it whiffed, so at what cost, really? Good shield on the moon skill now.
The spears are definitely car insurance.
Yeah. Good throw tech. Nice wait from both players. OmniScythe deciding to start up his offense, however. Might not even need to heat, honestly, with the with Lunar's health being where it's at. Yeah, there's that late air dash.
This might not be there because 1 bar didn't even kill, I'm pretty sure.
We were seeing it a bit earlier from Luna in a couple of sets, but there are a lot of times where on defense they're just kind of like really worried about throws. So you'll see a lot of like whiff throws attempts that look like they're supposed to be throw techs. And a lot of these tend to happen when the opponent's kind of going for these like late double jumps or late air dash, or frankly just late air options in general. So I'm curious to see if either he'll start trying to dash out a bit more, or if OmniScythe will start brutally taking advantage of that. 2 because of the moon drive. Yeah.
Tried to get a throw ass out of OmniScythe, but no dice. Yeah. I was taking a lot of damage. Oh,
good shield in. Yeah, that's definitely it.
1 bar kill, but try to go for 3 bar.
Yeah. And already OmniScythe is up 2-0, and suddenly it feels like the book was. It feels like the matchup notes are being written at the moment, at least in this set currently.
Shield back, save yourself too.
Yeah, Luna seemed very worried about OmniScythe's option there with the moon drive. However, because he opted for it, it gave OmniScythe the chance to actually recover and not get caught for like whipping an air shield. Back dashes out, kind of just waiting out a response from Luna. Any big reward off of that would definitely kill. Nice responsive EXs from both players. Deep air shield here. Someone has a bar to work with, but goes for that late air backdash. Very nice.
Yeah, definitely caught Luna. Whip punish. Oh my goodness.
Oh, nice with it. This is looking real good. OmniScythe at tournament point for Monday night.
Wake up.
51.
Luna's cracking a little bit.
We'll have to see if he can hold firm. Goes for the spears.
So I hit. Oh my goodness gracious.
It was delayed a little bit too much. Now it is time to party. However, gets the shield.
Big. I don't think you're dead.
He has Moondrick skill available.
He's dead.
Oh my!
Dead. He is very.
I hate Kimone. I hate Kimone. I hate him.
I knew he was dead the second he got clipped, and I saw 3 bars.
He's an awful.
Yeah. The moment I saw that there was Moon available, nah, that is Moon dive into Arc Drive. GG's. Hand me my money. Yeah.
I'm taking Kimone to court for designing these characters.
You could take.
Ain't nowhere.
You could take Kimone to court for so many other things. I'm not going to hold you. I would be surprised that you would take him to court for that, but I shall not impede. Overall, great showing from both players there. OmniScythe really kind of showing off the kind of difference in styles, especially with Abister. You know, Abister definitely looked like they were a bit lost in terms of kind of how to approach it, and it felt like OmniScythe in turn had a lot of answers quite ready. Fantastic, honestly. This tournament was very exciting and pretty smooth. Jesus Christ. Ooh,
yeah, I ran really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ran really well. I was worried. I thought Losers was behind a little bit, but honestly, yeah, it ran pretty quick. Thank you for everybody that just like actually played their games quickly, especially on Losers' side. Yeah.
I mean, and of course, I will shout you out if you won't shout yourself out. Running about a 30-person bracket pretty quickly is quite good, especially online. You and the team are definitely putting in the work.
Yeah, we've done a lot of them at this point.
Yeah, you guys are used
Every
to
week
it.
too.
This is
Like three or four times a week. Anthony literally doesn't do anything, bro.
Yeah. But real talk though, thank you for having me on. This has been quite fantastic. On a Money in the Matcherino, it's been a lot of fun sets. So I ain't got much more to say. I know I drag on sometimes. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on comms. And you too, Tama. You should follow both Towito and Tama on Twitter, Twitch. I believe they both stream.
Yeah.
Is it the same username?
Yes, it is just Towito66 on both platforms. I haven't streamed in a while. I usually, when I do, it's typically in the morning, just talking about some like analysis of CF and stuff. But yeah, and you can catch me on Twitter if you want to hear me yell about wikis and other related shit.
Both usernames are in the chat. Quick reminder, these are bi-weekly. So the next one is in 2 weeks. Next Monday we'll be running Uni. And then the Monday after that we'll be running Melty again. Wednesday we're running Strive at 8 p.m. Thursday, Blaze Blue at 8 p.m. And then on Sunday, Grand Blue Beginners at 5. If you're in or around New York, we've got an offline on April 23rd where we're not running Melty this month, but we're running Strive, Grand Blue, Exerd, Uni, and Persona. So if you're able to come out to those, those are a really good time. I have a lot of fun just running those and just seeing all the offline sets. First game starts at 2, but we generally kind of get the PlayStations and everything set up by around noon for some casuals. So stop by if you're able to. Otherwise, that's it for me. I think I'm gonna send everybody over to Furby because I didn't see anybody else really streaming Lunar right now.
Word.
But yeah, again, thank you for everybody who stuck around. All the donations to the Matcherino, that's sick, 130. Everybody that used a code in Sponsor Quest, and we'll catch you all either at one of the other events or maybe in 2 weeks. See ya.